Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to this week's edition of GKP Live. Hope everybody's good. Usual thing. We shall be right back after this. Welcome back, all.
You can.
How are you going, Dad? Oh, and we've
Thanks.
there we go. We got Aaron here, Humber Coy as well backstage. There.
Aaron, right, buddy.
Didn't, see that until last second. Then I should
How we
be
doing?
looking down there as opposed to up here. How's it going? You good?
Yeah.
We got Rick joining us as well. I'm fingers crossed. I'm guessing he must be running a little bit late or whatever, but he has sent me a message and say he will be on this evening. We've got actually, one thing we do need to mention first. A massive happy birthday to Dave from DT Coy. Happy birthday, mate. Congratulations on making it 30 years. Hope you've had a blast, mate, and all the best for the weekend, bud.
Happy birthday, Dave.
Week in it, like, so I guess you'll probably be doing something more with the family at the weekend, mate. We've got a couple more people. I've been popping everybody's comments in, saying hello and jumping in there. First of all, I would like. Oh my God, somebody's walking there with a Nerf gun.
Sniper.
Leo is either about to get his head blown off, or Aaron is going to get it mid-show.
Yeah, it's going to be a headshot.
There you go.
Oh,
Nice
dear
one.
God.
I like that. He'll walk past as he comes back past you, scoped in, ready for blowing your head off.
You see the red lights zooming in on
Evening, Rick. How you doing, mate?
Evening, Rick.
Yeah, evening. Sorry, It's one of them days, isn't it?
It's all right, mate. It's all good. There's no clogging in and out here, mate. There always is. And I was just about to say, I just want to say a massive thank you to all the people that reached out this week and into last week from Thursday through to say thanks very much. It was very greatly appreciated. I've had a few people, in fact, quite a lot more than what I expected, reach out, send personal messages, and I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. It was lovely to read some of them, some more so than others. We went into a lot of detail and a lot of explanation as to how they've felt similar sort of things. So it was really nice to hear from everybody and nice to hear people backing and supporting. So thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. Topic-wise, we've got a few. We've got a couple, and to be fair, guys, I really am sorry. I've had my head up my arse, backwards and forwards, trying to get my van sorted out. It's been a hell of a week, trying to get shit together and sorted. I was thrown straight back in at work this morning, first thing, after picking up my vehicle yesterday evening. But I've spent a whole week chasing garages, chasing this, chasing that, chasing customers, chasing clients, making promises that I couldn't deliver because the garage let me down time and time again. Not through their fault, not because they were struggling with the supplies of parts, and then a lot more intense job than what they really thought it were going to be. So it ended up being a bit of a nightmare. Week and a half off, but chilled out, gaming, had a little bit of a kickback, but I've lost a lot of my holidays for the beginning of the year already, which is a bit naff, but it is what it is. Other than that, we've got a couple of comments that we've got come through to us on YouTube. On YouTube side, and one or two that have come through on the Facebook community as well. I've also been asked by Carol, and I hope I'm going to say this, Carol Lawsett, if I can help with something she's trying to do. As of yet, she's not come back, but by which I mean she's not come back to me with any details. But she's got some, I think they're greeting cards of some way, some sort of description. She's going to send me those through. Hopefully we can bring them into next week's live to help for her to raise some money for awards. The chemotherapy treatments that she's had. I think it's a little bit of a charity thing that she's trying to do. So if you could do us a huge favor, guys, if you could check out Carol Lawsett's channel. In fact, if one of the admin, if not, I shall pull that up for myself. While you guys have a quick natter between yourself, I will find Carol's channel. And if you could all do us a huge favor, swing by, because I know she's trying to get, well, one should be over the moon with some more subscribers, but she'll be more over the moon if she can help raise money towards a charity that she's trying to.
Could you please come and before it disappears?
That's get the spider. He's got to get the spider.
Yeah, it's
There's two scary spiders in the shed. We've located one.
we have located one.
My God.
Needs evacuating.
I'll be back in a minute.
There we go. There's Carol's. Oh, sorry.
Still
Dave.
going,
Thank you very much, Dave. There's Carol's channel. If you could just swing by, I don't know if she's mentioned anything yet on the channel about it, but if she hasn't, if we can help her try to raise a little bit of money for a charity that she's been part of herself, I think it'd be a great help that we can do. So hopefully the upcoming live next week, I should have something that I can show to you guys to help raise a little bit of money for the charity she's involved with.
She's already on 300 subscribers. I'm already subscribed to Carol.
Yeah, me too.
So see if she can't get a bit of a boost tonight.
Yeah, but fingers crossed. She's on 300 subscribers. It's lovely to see another lady doing a little bit something to do with the koi scene, and it's even nicer that a lady of a older generation that's partaking in it as well.
Yeah, full gas.
That was smooth. That was smooth.
Can I just do a shout out, Gaz? Can I do a shout out to my little niece?
You certainly can.
I went down on the day with Ezra and Melissa and Finn, and I'm getting it in the ear, which is why I was a bit late because they kept phoning me.
Make sure you do a big shout out for us.
Melissa loves the YouTube, and well, there you go.
There you go. Thank you very much.
No, I'll see you.
Hopefully, fingers crossed to tune in and watch from there.
There was a battle, but I did manage to defeat the spider.
Was it that big?
It was. It was. To be honest, it looked a nasty little shit. It looked like the sort that will bite you.
Oh yeah, we've got some underage viewers. Yeah, we have to watch the other language.
Yeah, we have to watch that.
Intros, man.
My bad.
Right, well, we'll kick into this evening's first couple of topics that we've got on Facebook. Question from David Pickstock, which is not really a question for us, but a question for Tony himself, because he's not on the channel, but I will ask anyway, regardless. For Tony from Farm O'Coy, if he's on tonight, did the malachite green work, pal, on what looks like a bacteria infection, Eromonas? I don't know. Hopefully, fingers crossed, mate. It has, and it is, and it's getting better. I'm guessing that's going to be the topical treatment that you were doing the other week, mate. David's asking if everything's sorted, bud, or whether or not things are starting to take a positive turn. Hopefully, fingers crossed they are. It's not something we can really answer. It's more something that Tony's in the comments. He can possibly let us know. Second question that we've got then is from Tony Barker. And do you think the plant, mind your own business, also known as what does?
Flaginella, baby's tears. It's got numerous names.
Doing my head in.
Rayulia is one of its. Well, that's its proper name. It comes from Rayulia Island in off New Zealand.
Well, Tony's question about mind your own business and all those other names that you give it there. Then, when its roots are in the pond, has any effect on nitrate removal?
Minimal, I would have imagined. It would have a small effect. Any plant that's nitrates.
Well, that's my understanding as plants.
The bigger the root system, I mean, plants like willow that have a large.
There's probably a delay on it.
Big net into the water. They will extract a large amount of nitrates out of the water.
I'm not on it now.
But only a small root system, it's negligible.
I thought they had to have. I thought the best ones was tubular roots for nitrate.
No. The flag iris is a good extractor of nitrates, which it is, and it has a tuber, but the tuber is used for flower production. That's not the actual root. It still has fine fibrous roots from the tuber, and it's those that will extract the nitrates. So it is a good plant, but yeah.
You're not on it now, no, because I'm on phone to you.
No.
Did you shout us out? You can't hear. We haven't heard it yet.
I think they must have switched off for the minute that I reappeared. Who knows? So, Melissa, you've got to watch the whole thing.
Well, maybe
Until
perhaps
midnight.
not the whole thing, love.
Until midnight.
Normally quite lengthy, but you're welcome to try if you want. We've got a question, Rick, as to being put to us about the plant mind your own business. And when its roots are in a pond, does it any effect on nitrate removal? Well, I believe that all plants, to some degree, remove nitrates, don't they? But just how good a job they actually do when submerged in a shower, cascading over the top of it.
They will all remove phosphates and nitrates, but the
amount that.
Yeah, the plants that grow faster, that you can hack back and grow, use more. So a tomato plant will use a lot more than a slower growing plant, an arum lily that sits there forever, not doing a lot. So
and that's like how you had those tomato plants and the chilies down the side of your Munger tunnel. Isn't it? That's the reason being, because the fast growers, they produce mass fruits quickly. And to do that, they need to pull in those nitrates to be able to feed fruit.
The quicker they grow and the more they pull out, and the quicker you can cut them. And if you use a plant, you can just keep hacking back and taking that vegetation away. Because, like I say, some plants will obviously die in the pond. So a lily or something will grow in the pond, die, and it all just stays there. Yeah. So you want something that grows, and you can just keep taking away the crop or the leaf or whatever, and it will keep drawing out nutrients as quick as it grows.
Yeah. What about such as your normal everyday? I mean, I know you just mentioned lilies there, but do you know what they call those? Is it irises? They're always supposedly good margin plants, aren't they? Supposedly. I mean, those tall bullreeds and everything. God damn, as they got bulrushes seem to pull a lot of growth.
Any grassy type plant which produces a lot of lush top growth will be good.
They do, but most people leave them in there and they're in a pot, so they grow and then die. And you want something, if you can keep harvesting it
back 2 or 3 times a year, then.
Yeah.
Stuff like
So there you go.
watercress, anything that grows absolutely crazy that you think, oh, that's a nightmare. But actually, if you can cut half of it and dump it every 2 weeks,
Yeah.
just pulling out nutrients that you might not want in your pond. Blanket weed's great. That's just a good one. You can just keep pulling that
Blanket
out.
weed, yeah, blanket weed's amazing, isn't it? I mean, Daz mass produces that stuff. If anybody's short of some and everybody wants some,
Yeah, I
so
can send you some.
Tony Barker, if you're after any, mate, we can get you sorted out with some blanket weed. Daz can grow some, but I will say this: Daz has been beaten. I thought Daz could grow blanket weed, but Chris, you can grow blanket weed way better than Daz. 384 foot long. Or something like that, I think it was 340 odd foot long. She pulled out blanket weed out of a pond, and she was tugging on it and tugging it on, tugging it on. I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, this is never ended. And she keeps going and she keeps going and she keeps going. And she's pulling and pulling, and then she put it all out to measure it, and it went up the drive, down the drive, up the drive, and down the drive, and it were a total of 300 and odd foot long. That's one hell of a record. You've smashed Daz. I reckon you should contact Guinness Book of Records because that was one long string. Well, long length of string algae, that was sure. But hopefully, fingers crossed, you start to get on top of it. But yeah. I was nuts to see that.
Well, that must have
Oh,
took
you were
some
good,
time.
Daz, but Chris has got you beat.
Yeah. I don't mind being beaten on blanket weed.
No. Sweet Acre Koi Farm, if you're wondering which channel I'm talking about. So,
It's American, isn't it? It's got to be bigger.
yeah, it's got to be bigger. They do everything bigger, don't they? Even the vehicles are bigger.
Even the blanket.
Vehicles, the fish, the blanket weed, everything. Bugs, you name it, it's all bigger. But yeah, there you go. So there you go, Tony. Yes, they will do some, but not as. I mean, I know a lot of people get quite a good, decent amount of growth out of them when they're growing in the showers and such. But it's not fast growing, is it? It's not like a tomato plant. A tomato, like you said, Rick. You can plant, I've planted tomato plants in here, and I've planted them from seed, and within a matter of weeks, they're like pushing 2 foot tall. Within a matter of months, they're touching top of conservatory roof, and they grow rapid. So
tomatoes are good because they're like a vine, and you can keep taking them back. Yeah. You can chop them and they grow more, and you chop them, they grow more.
Yeah.
So you're just always pulling. But if you can't get to them, the reason I do chilies is you can plant them and leave them, and then crop them. There's no, I've got to do this, that, and the other. Just they grow and they create massive bushes.
Yeah.
That are, well, the right
cool.
things worthwhile. They look right and taste all right to get the right ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Produce food you can't eat.
I've been promised some new seeds this year, Frankensteins or something.
No, thanks.
Yeah. No.
You can keep them.
Yeah.
We've got a message from Claude, who was on last week with us, that says, Gaz, many thanks for the advice last week, collectively, mate, not just me. Many thanks for the advice last week. Miranda swimming right way up. Peas and Epsom salt bath books purchased, the Bible, good man. And South Africa, I am now a front of knowledge.
Font of knowledge.
Great. I hope you enjoy the read, mate, because there is some really good topics within that book. And it is a basic book, if nothing more, but it does cover pretty much everything and anything that basic koi keeping is about. There's lots of stuff in it, lots of interesting stuff to read up on. We always refer to it, Daz, don't we, as the Bible.
Yeah.
But glad the fish has come good, mate. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
That's why I switched mine to do not disturb, mate. Because, just
you'll kill me. I'm home alone. I've got to answer the phone.
Carlos has asked, Rick, was those pipe fittings fit your blue water pipe? Got a bag of them if you need any more.
Vince did give me some pipe fittings the other day.
There you go.
They're still in the back. I'm not. They probably will if they're 32 mil or whatever the blue pipes are. We use the blue water pipe for air around the farm or whatever.
Oh, is that for air loop system?
Yeah, but I can't remember what size it is off the top of my head.
There's two sizes. Is it 25 and 18? Or...
No, it's bigger than that. It's got to be 32, I should think.
All right.
Could be wrong.
Chris Taylor said, do you feel we meddle with our koi far too much? If so, what so? If so, what so? We think we are all guilty of. All right. So do we meddle with his fish too much? I'm going to tell you something, right? And this is probably going to get me a heap load of, oh, you can't do that, but I can because it's my pond and I can do what I want with it. Over the Christmas period, I give my filter a good clean prior to each one of those cold nips that we had. Since the last cold nip that we had, where it was not the last post that I stuck out with a little bit of snow, what we had for a day, and then we're gone again. I haven't cleaned my filter systems. I slowed everything down. I knocked it down to about 4,000 litres an hour and just left it ticking over and done nothing with it. I didn't feed. I haven't done anything with it. So the last time it was cleaned, since that time, I'd done no feeding. And I've left it for 5 weeks. Yesterday, prior to going back to work today, I went out and give the filter a good clean and I gave it a good service and everything. I checked all my water parameters. Absolutely cock on. Perfect. And I've only fed the odd little bit every now and again when I've gone out there and seen the fish that have been going around and chewing outside a pond, actively looking for food. So I've given them a little bit, but only a small amount, but more than what I used to give because there's more fish in there. So slightly more than I did, but not too much. And make sure we get this right. That will lead me on to another topic in a minute as well. So I've not asked about mine at all, mate. I'm a believer that if your filter system's doing its job and working well and you're not feeding, then the best thing to do is to leave it as it is, just ticking over. Make sure all the system's still running, make sure that your pumps are still running, that you still got air going in and all that lot, and just leave it be. I've left my fish to tell me what they want. And I think that, personally, for me, is the better or the more suitable way of doing it. What do you guys think? What do you think? Do you think you dick about or mess around or too much with your ponds, or if you do, what you're guilty of?
Chasing numbers for nitrates and stuff. I mean, I've seen it drive people crazy trying to get everything perfect. You'll never get it perfect.
No,
so long as there's no parasite issues, there's no bacteria issues, and everything's ticking over fine with your fish, leave the chuffers alone. Everything's fine, but don't chase numbers. That's my personal opinion.
There is a flip side to it, though, as well, isn't there? That koi, like anything else, will get accustomed to whatever they're used to. So if you go out there and catch your fish every day, they get accustomed to it. And
I totally agree with that, Rick. I personally think the more you bugger about with them, the more they're used to you. That's why I can get in my pond and my fish don't swim away from me. They're not bothered. They're not darting off. They're not spooked because I've having that net in that small pond and that far back wall. I've been so close so many times to falling in that I've thought, sod it, just wade in. And then you've got fish swimming around you where you can just swim up, pick them up, have a look at them, turn them over, put them down, let them go. More of your interaction.
We fell into a trap a long time ago where everyone said, "Oh, don't do this." So we used to harvest the fish and then put them in the sales tanks, and it was the worst thing you could ever do. Those fish were just so scatty and so scared. Whereas now, we obviously put them into fish houses. We mess about, we catch them, we grade them, we sort them, and we go through them. That's my niece now. Melissa, no, I'm on. So yeah, the more you mess about with them, and the more you mess about from an early age, they're used to it.
Yeah,
there is no. You can catch them, put them in a bowl, and they'll carry on. They look for food. That fear instinct is.
Yeah,
kind of
you're
almost
desensitizing them, aren't you? Really?
Yeah, and like the fear is with puppies and stuff. It used to be, you leave them with the bitch for 8 weeks and don't go near them. Now it's bang drums near them, scare the crap out of them, do everything you can. Yeah, so they're suddenly desensitized and they're used to whatever, the Hoover, the doorbell, different people coming around.
Yeah, makes
a lot of sense, doesn't it?
It's years ago. Yeah. I watched a channel, and I think it was a gentleman from over in Canada. I'm not 100% sure if it's the gentleman that Vince had on his live a couple of weeks ago. And I'm 100% sure that guy, because he interacts a fair bit with his fish, I'm sure if it wasn't him, it's somebody else from over in Canada. And he balled up his fish, and he said, "This is how friendly and how used to being around me my fish are." And he sprinkled food in bowl, and the fish just yammed a lot. He just ate everything that he dropped in, like an handful of it. And I thought, that's familiarization. And if familiarization desensitizes a fish that much, that's got to be a good thing, not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Well,
You
no,
can stress a fish out, though, can't you, by chasing it around the pond with a net, or if you desensitize it enough that you're in there and you're doing your meat maintenance a lot, and you're regularly bowling and measuring and stuff like that, then they're not going to freak out massively when the net goes in it, thinking that they're off.
There is another flip side to this. I'm just being devil's advocate, and
It's not with me.
as soon as you put them in a pond where there's predators about,
Yeah.
then
you're screwed. Yeah, because your fish are
suddenly they're like,
See what the heron is, whether it's going to give them some food and then wallop. Yeah.
so,
My fish got like that with my dog. That's what worried me about our Zeus, because he'd come and sit at side of me and he'd rest his head on side at pond and he'd look and fish would approach him. And I thought, if a cat starts doing that, that thinks, you know what, I'm going to have that fish. Yeah, it's not always such a good thing, is it? In that sense.
he's getting dinner delivered.
It's a pancake.
Wrong day, Daz.
My son's
All I'm
been
getting is
working away
these
all
sharks.
week.
Pancake.
My son's come back and he's come back for pancakes, so I'm getting one as well.
Wait. Camera shot.
Got a dog.
It's like dogs coming for one as well, Daz.
Yeah, mate.
Back beast, back.
I've created a monster. I've created a monster, mate.
What do you reckon yourself, Aaron? Is there anything that you do a bit too much, or think you go too far, or you're something you're guilty of?
I reckon last year I didn't put my net in enough, to be fair, after seeing how easy yours was to catch and how I was chasing mine around for ages to try and get a measure on them. And I think now, even to get a scrape last week, and it's a lot easier now. They're used to the net being in there. And I think there's obviously a fine balance where if you've got them out too much, but
yeah,
I reckon.
I think the best way to desensitize your fish to a net is to leave the net in there, but don't go away from it, because if a fish swims into it and gets stuck and then starts struggling, then you end up with a little bit of trouble. But desensitize, it's like Dave when Dave's doing his. It's what he does with his. He puts net in for 5 or 10 minutes and he leaves it just lent against side in middle at pond. Waits for his fish to chill out and relax a little bit, and then he showed me when I was there. Literally just popped his fish under net, up it coming out. No struggling, no pissing about, no darting around everywhere, no chasing, no. So I think that thing's not such a bad thing, but again, like Rick says, predator-wise, you might make them a little bit too friendly.
It's always a balance.
Yeah.
For most people's ponds, you want them as tame as you can get them and as used to the net, so you can bring them up, bowl them, take them to shows, do whatever you want to do. But from our point of view, they get too tame. You put them out in a mud pond, they get absolutely annihilated because they're just that fear's gone. So, yeah.
Again, that's probably more so with like your chags and everything that are already bred to be more friendly.
We can't even put them out in the mud ponds. They just
give themselves up. Just lay there. Eat me. Ginger, the ginger pond keeper. He was talking. I don't know if you haven't seen it, Rick. I'll send you the link. You need to watch his video. He's talking about wild types and such. And I did leave a comment saying, if you want any information about wild types of carp, should I say, that you also produce them and you breed them down there on the farm, don't you, for sport fishing?
Yeah.
And me and Daz were talking about it and said, why don't, because a lot of people haven't, but a lot of people never really get the chance to show them. And I thought about maybe doing a wild type appreciation so we could see some of the fish that people would have in the ponds alongside their koi. I.e., perhaps maybe your sturgeon, if you wanted to show your sturgeon, or if you've got a mirror carp, or if you've got a common carp or a leather carp.
Or that grass carp that Daz used to have, that was a whopper, wasn't it?
The problem with that is you can't see them in the pond, and you put them in a bowl, and all they're going to do is try and jump out. I suppose it might be a bit of a case, but I thought
Daz, I mean, me and Daz, both anglers, both like. That's why I think both me and Daz like the Deutsch scale, mirror-looking types of koi as well, because we're always drawn to that one. Look at scales down that, look at linear on that, and everything. We're always looking, and I think that's a lot more to do with the angling side of us that we both do. Probably maybe so yourself, Rick, as well. But I just thought it might be an opportunity if anybody wants to send any in. Usual thing: Facebook, Messenger, email, whatever, and we'll bang a few of them up on tomorrow, next Thursday's Night Live.
There is some massive carp in. We've got carp in customers' ponds. Yeah, huge beasts, and obviously you don't really see them from on top. But those that got windows get to see.
It's like that one that you caught, Rick, on that when we were night fishing. The carp that you've got are really light in colour, aren't they?
Only because of the pond.
That particular one was anyway.
That's because of the colour of the water. So if you put them in a clear pond, they go dark. So a carp will react to the background, so they can change, pull their pigment in and out of the cells almost, so they can go from light to dark. That's on. So that's why you get some koi that will do it, because they're not as inbred. So sometimes you put a koi in a blue bowl and it goes from looking really nice and all the black just disappears.
Yeah, like a kid.
Put it back in your pond and it looks nice again, and they can do it within minutes.
Yeah, that's what that fish I got from Vince did. When it was in the blue paddling pool, totally changed colour. Yeah. When I put it back in the black new pond, when I put it back in, the following next day, it looked the same fish as what it did that had come out originally. It was weird, man. It was proper changed overnight. Yeah. Love that fish. So it's cool. That's what I like about it, how it does.
That's where it starts. So that's their natural behaviour. And then obviously we breed those that can hold a colour and don't do that, because otherwise you take them to a show and
you go in with a Shuramuja.
But that's advanced. So yeah, they do change massively. So, but from the size, you do get some. What anglers like is a pretty carp is completely different to koi appreciation, though, because a big carp is just like a huge dustbin lid.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, an angler's big carp is pretty much a big fat ugly fish, isn't it? I mean, there are some big fat chunky gut ones, aren't there? Whereas a big koi, it's not like that in profile shape, is it at all? It's totally different. But there are a lot of people that do have them in the pond with the koi. Daz's, for example, I mean, Daz's is stunning. It's got a lovely mirror scaled carp. It's a banging fish. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, this is
Daz's koi channel
appreciation. Crept up on you that one, didn't it, Daz? Yeah.
Is that lemon and sugar on it, or chocolate?
No, just orange and
orange.
Yeah, orange. It's probably orange. No, I don't know, like lemon nonsense.
The only thing that stuff should be used for is to turn into Yorkshire puddings. Other than that, throw it in bin, man, because they're disgusting.
Oh, give over.
I don't like them at all. Horrible. I think it's because my mum and dad used to give them us with a bit of lemon on. You say, here, squirt a lemon over it, then sprinkle some sugar on. Well, why do I want to make it sour and then make it sweet? It's just...
That's why you have orange on it, guys, instead of bloody lemon.
Yeah, well, yeah.
What's orange on pancakes? Lemon and sugar.
Lemon and sugar, would you? You do lemon and sugar as well.
My little boy, he will just eat them till they just come out of his ears.
Yeah, my grandkids, my kids all like them, but no, not for me.
I've made them tonight. Leo came in from Grandma's house and was like, "Dad, can you do us?" Because obviously I don't on Tuesday. We got any more pancake mix left? I was like, "Yeah, well, we've got eggs and flour, mate. No problem."
Eggs and flour. Old school, eh? You don't buy it in a box anymore.
A lot of people do get the pre-mixed. You just wang it in and add a bit of milk, whatever it is.
Buy a box of flour. Still has an egg.
A bit of egg. Rick's koi pond said, "I have mint in my pond. Is that any good? Does it grow fast?"
It grows fast, yeah.
You need to hack it out. Don't just leave
mint
it.
Is that? Yeah.
It's mint.
Yeah.
You can get water.
What a lot of people don't do is remove it.
Water mint is the best one for your pond.
As long as you don't leave it.
Fast grower again, something that you can hack
leave
back.
it. So you have to just keep cutting it back non-stop.
Literally harvest 80% throw it away and it grows, and just keep
Yeah.
Otherwise, it just.
So obviously,
pond.
you've got tomatoes and chilies in a polytunnel. Is there anything like fruit based like that where you could get the advantage in a normal pond as a marginal? Could you grow tomatoes on the edge of?
Well, you can get outdoor.
Watercress and mint are two of the best. Watercress grows like absolute crazy. You can eat it and make your soup, or just bin it.
Officially eat it.
Just bin it.
But, yeah, watercress is a good one.
My fish actually hammered me with watercress and destroyed it.
There used to be parrot's feather was one we used to use a lot, but it's not now anymore. It's a non-native species, but it used to grow like a lovely mat. You could just literally just chop it off, get rid of it, and that was a good one.
Is that like a floating surface?
Yeah, it was just like floating feathered plants that come from they had to obviously root from a place, and they just grew out so fast, and you could just literally trim them, throw them away, and they just grow and trim.
No, keep going and keep going and keep
Problem
going.
is, they're so invasive, they just keep growing, and obviously, if you don't, that gets in a natural waterway, so they've banned it.
I have been tempted on my ledge to put like a fish barrier on it, so the chag just doesn't eat every plant I put in there, and put loads of watercress in there.
Take the ledge out and put plenty more depth there.
Yeah,
that is on the cards.
I know. Rehatch the idea in your mind. Get you going again.
Need a bit of flow as well.
Honestly,
doesn't like it totally.
But it's whether it's worth doing it this year or next year.
Well, I've noticed that I've backed off with the feeding on these fish just to give them, because I was feeding them quite a bit. I thought, right, I'll back off a little bit, let them have a little bit of a rest a bit, and then I shall give them another go again. God damn, man. They've annihilated all my plants in the tank. They've literally, I don't think there's one full leaf left. Everything has been ragged to bits. In fact, there's one actually literally floating around in pond that they've pulled out this evening right from roots, which was underneath a great big piece of dragonstone. So they've given that a right good tug trying to get it.
Yeah.
So I know what you mean about messing around the chag, Aaron. That chag of mine that's in my pond, that always used to be rooting around in the baskets and the plants. That's why I had to cover. They sucked all stones out of my lily pot, so I had to put bigger stones in that they couldn't pick up with their mouths and blow around pond. So
can't remember last year though. Them stones I had were as big as my fist, and the chag was moving them.
Yeah,
I was like, it was like pushing boulders around.
Don't use stones. Don't use stones. If you want lilies in your pond, just put them in a normal basket and then wire a grid. Do you know, like a filter, hard plastic grid you get, and just wire it to the lilies grow up through it, but they can't get to the soil and they're just after the bloodworm that grows in.
Yeah, that's what they were doing. You can see them just grubbing around into it.
They'll move half bricks and all sorts if they get going.
Yeah, I was putting like them Nordic cobbles on around the top of it, as big as my hand, and it was pushing them around like a football.
There's no, you can't if you don't secure them. There's no chance.
That's what's been on my mind. That filter grid just across the ledge, fill it full of plants this year.
The problem
I don't think I'll be able to.
Fish will. I've had fish that will learn to jump over to get at those areas. So you put a nice grid there, the next morning you've got your chagoid jammed because he's gone up over to have some food and then get stuck. So they're because obviously that they can sense and they know the food's there and they will try and get to it.
So fish are stupid. If they can kill themselves, they will.
Well, get some food. Generally, it's like a dog, isn't it?
It is Daz. We were down at weekend, just gone, down at Daz's, and we were doing the little bit of a video. We scooped out, literally walked off, come back, and the one fish that Daz went, this is the only Deutsch Sankey from Randy. And we popped in this bowl and then walked in, walked out, and it's there on floor. Literally, the only one, that Daz really wanted to see, and it was linked on its side, and I thought, oh God, and I nearly stood on it because I never saw it camouflaged into gravel at floor. Daz went, oh, there's one there at floor, picked it up, put it in, put it back in bucket, come back, come good again. But it's like they literally will. Oh, why would you jump out your only life source? I mean, you got to be pretty simple, aren't you, to do that?
Yeah.
Sod's law, mate. Sod's law.
Yeah.
You can guarantee. Let's say we had a pond of 100 of the YouTuber choice fish, and there was 5 in there that were pretty smart. And literally, I saw there was an issue in there. Didn't act quick enough, and we've lost 10 fish out of the 100, and all 5 of the good ones are in that 10.
God.
Yeah. I've just been asked there by Sweet Acre. Oh, damn it.
You've gone, mate. Damn it. Sweet Acre, damn it.
There we go. Sweet Acre, damn it. Sweet Acre Koi Farm. If you can see the lemon arawaka.
Man, that's put some growth on.
His stripe's getting smaller, mate. You need to stop feeding him.
Look, there's a plant that they've pulled out. But all the others are now pretty much leafless. So, yeah.
The thugs.
It has grown. It has grown really well. That's why I thought it seems to be getting a bit on the podgy side. So I'll back off with feeding it for a little bit. Just let them have an easier week with just 1 or 2 feeds a day rather than feeding ever. And yeah, it's growing. It's growing pretty good. But the others, well, they are growing, but they're just, when you see that one so far ahead, the others don't look like they are, but they really are. It's like you were saying, Daz, at weekend, mate.
Yeah.
You don't see it until you've been away for a bit, and then you notice it and you think, oh, wow, that really has done some more growing.
Yeah.
Bring that back up. There we go. But yeah, there you go. That's I do think it's getting smaller around it. It's receding somewhat. And it had a little patch on its nose. And now that's just turned into a little bit of yellow on its lip instead, on its top lip.
Gosh.
A mustachio.
Wacky, mate. You'll have a lovely big platinum soon.
Mate, I honestly wouldn't be bothered if I did. That'll be one super cool platinum if it does.
It's got nice skin luster, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. 2 Kajaku. I'm not sure if the Kajaku are, I think they are a normal Kajaku, an orange Kajaku, not the red, not the yellow. But I wasn't so sure one of them might have been a yellow one, but that now seems to have darkened off a little bit, much more that standard orange colour. But yeah, there we go. Do not give the heron a basket to stand on or at the side of your pond. Yeah, somebody said something to me the other week, and I can't remember whether it was on this live or whether it was just in general conversation about herons. That you always see herons more around your pond. See in a bit, Daz. You always see herons more around your pond when the water or heavy rains, when we've had heavy rains and the waters are discoloured, making it more difficult for the heron to hunt in its natural environment. So they come more around ponds where you can easily spot targets like fish in ornamental ponds.
Mm.
What do you think of that? Is there any truth in that?
It
sounds like it'd make sense. But
you wait till the ponds are frozen and yours ain't, because
yeah,
all be there. They're natural birds. So at the end of the day, when they got young, they're hungry. Obviously, they got to feed their young. So they're out looking for more food. If they're natural, the best places around here, we've got the marshes and whatever. So that's where they want to be. But obviously, if that freezes up or floods, then they'll find the next place.
You got to go to the next point, and if that means they're flying over New Forest Coys spots, hey, off they go, isn't it? So it is, though, isn't it? But yeah, made a fair bit of sense, I thought. Warm pancakes with butter, yum. Shut up, George. They're horrible. What's up, y'all? Bet y'all like Marmite and Bovril as well, don't you?
No.
Yeah. Not on a pancake.
Not on a pancake.
I've never tried that.
There you go. There's one for science. Give that a go. They're not my cup of tea at all. But Chris from Sweet Acre Koi Farm says, wow, it has grown. That yellow is so vibrant. And to be fair, to be honest, the tank needs a clean. The glass is a little bit on the murky side, so it would look even more. But yeah, they really have grown. Gonna be time to be getting them out of there before long.
Yeah.
You'll be rivaling Tony with his growing in tank soon. 32 centimetres in 6 months. That was flying.
That's some good size, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rick would put chili sauce on pancakes. I bet he wouldn't know.
I do, yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Cheese and onion pancakes with a bit of chili sauce. Can't go wrong.
I don't mind is it a savoury pancake? I don't mind them. but no, not
Yeah,
liking.
pancakes are all the same. It depends what you put on it. Sugar, lemon, cheese, and onion. It's the same
Minced
pancake,
beef.
isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose. I've cursed us because I were only saying today. I noticed Dad's dropping out since he got his new router, and all of a sudden, that's the first time that you've had it.
Yeah.
Right then, next one is hi guys. If you get stuck later tonight with subjects, could you please ask Rick to give us the run through on his gravel filtration? Thank you. And I'm guessing that will be kind of aimed at when you was doing the gravel filtration and you was changing the liner on the internal tanks and the ponds. Is that what he's referring to with the gravel filtration?
Possibly, yeah. We use it in the shop. We can get away with it. It's just a giant under gravel filter, like you have in an aquarium. We can get away with it in there because you've got no natural light. So you have no algae, you're just doing the fish waste. And it's that tank hadn't been cleaned for 10 years, maybe.
Wow.
There's nothing, it just breaks down. So
it basically runs exactly the old-fashioned system where you used to have like the air drawing being drawn.
Yeah, so we also use a manual pump, so we're pushing 10,000 litres of whatever an hour. So it's exactly the same principle, but you can only.
So you're bottom draining that then, I'm guessing. Bottom drain, gravelled over top, pulling all the water down through.
Not a drain, no. It's through like a giant set, like a spider. Well, we just use pipe work, so it pulls it down from everywhere. Exactly the same principle, and it in that shop environment, it works amazing because there is no natural light.
And that's you use that bead stuff, don't you? Or is it just that normal gravel? Is it them little?
No, it's
like light tag stuff.
It's
clay pellets.
We get it from the power station, so it's like a porous. It's what doesn't burn from the coal in the power stations. So it's almost like a volcanic.
Oh, so it's what they would call
vermiculite, is it?
Yeah, they whack it under roads. They do all sorts of it, but you have to buy 25 cubic meters or whatever for them to bring the lorry round. So in that way, it's brilliant, and in shower filters, it's really good, but it's limited because it's really light until it fills with water because it's porous, and then it's quite heavy. So you can only use it and it will block pretty easy. So it has its, whereas you can use K1 pretty much wherever you want to use it, you can't use that porous stone in the same way. So we found ways where we can use it and it's great, and we found ways where you can't use it. It's not can't use it; it doesn't work. But yeah, it's just it's just our shop is unique in it. It's a solid concrete bunker. you got to use what you've got, and
you've made it work, haven't you?
Yeah, so that's what you have to do. You've worked the space, and to be fair, we were joking in the shop. We've got different filter systems, and the drum and the shower filters don't keep the water as good as those under gravel type filters.
Yeah, so it's more effective.
It's more effective to have a power cut because obviously all of those under gravel type filters are using huge amounts of oxygen. So not only your fish using it, and it's all trapped. So if you can't circulate the water and you can't put air in, then they will deoxygenate much faster than the other systems where the filters are not connected, probably 4 or 5 times quicker. So obviously we've got backup generator, we've got stuff to deal with it, but you can get caught out. Whereas one tank would deoxygenate in 10 minutes, another tank would deoxygenate in 2 hours. Yeah, because of the different filtration, even if they're at the same stock density or whatever. So yeah.
So an effective method of filtration, which has its downsides should you lose power because you'll deoxygenate quicker.
Massively, yeah, especially in the summer, yeah. Because if we've got 500 Nisai in a pond in there, and all of the filtration is in there using oxygen as well, it will deoxygenate so fast. It's quite scary because it's everything in that system. It just wants that bit of oxygen and it can't get any more. Whereas you'll see shower filters and everything else is external and it's different. It is. You just
a motorbike going by.
That sounds like motorbike in the living room, doesn't it?
My niece is doing my notice. She's texting me every 10 seconds. She's only 11. It's definitely not her going up and down on the motorbike. But yeah, it's one of you got to use what works, isn't you? So a lot of people will look at some of the stuff we do and go, "Oh, that's old school," or that. But if it works, it works.
Yeah.
And if in particular in the shop there's seven ponds that are all the same size, they're all 1,500 gallons, and we've got one that runs with a drum to a fluid bed filter to a shower filter, and unfortunately that's got the worst water clarity of all the ponds in the shop. And that's cost, I don't know,
a lot of money,
$2,000 or whatever for that setup, and it doesn't match it doesn't match the other filters except for the point when the power goes off, when it's better. Yeah. But other than that, you just got to work with what you got.
The clarity is crystal clear on those indoor ponds.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is they're indoors and no natural light, which then the fish don't look so good after a period of being in there.
Yeah.
So you've only got to look at the videos like Lee's doing in Japan, and just simple, isn't it? Drain to a load of literally massive load of jack matting back to the pond. It's as simple as you can get, and it works.
Yeah.
It does its job. Done.
Yeah.
Vince has just popped in there. He's put, that's going to be a Deutz Platinum organ gas. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's going to be a beautiful lemon arawake. And I'm going to check on the photographs and go back just to see if it has actually dropped. I know it's dropped off that little bit on its nose, but I'm quite glad about that because
we'll tattoo it yellow.
It's still there a little, but I think that could be down to lighting as well, because there isn't no ultraviolet lighting in there. It's just normal tropical fish tank lights. So, we'll see.
Once it goes, mate. You won't get it back.
If it goes, it's not like it's going to be an ugly fish, is it? It'll be a beautiful platinum Deutz.
Yeah.
So win-win, as far as I'm concerned. In fact, you're all wrong. It's a Benny-Goy.
Yes.
I'm going to spray the bugger orange. I'll just highlight it back in again.
How many shimmies you got on the Benny-Goy now?
Don't ask.
Oh.
On my Benny-Goy, or the one that I got before, it just had that one on the head, didn't it? Yeah, it's got like 12 now.
Wow.
But it's all right. I've had a word with the local heron, and he just keeps coming around and trying to grab hold of it and pulling out the scales. So win-win. It'll be Deutz by the time mid-season comes around. So that's how it's. That's what happened to it last time. The heron come around, grabbed it about 3 or 4 times when a neighbour scared it off. That it's pulled 1 or 2 at scales, no damage to it. Fish is fine in itself, like, but it's got a lot of
obviously
my ass. It's definitely not a good one. They make a lovely squash tomato because I think that's what it'll end up going.
Vince is asking you, sure it's not a heat.
You should send a message to Dainichi, see if they'll take returns.
Yeah.
I mean, you get what you pay for, don't you? Yeah. If I wanted to get a good one, you're gonna have to pay good money for one, aren't you? If you want to get one from Daz, you get a white and yellow one. Win-win. Lose.
Perfect. There's no shimmies on it.
You have, mate. You have got yours. The one that you've got from.
In fact, it's developing the white edge to the fins as well. I noticed.
It's mint, isn't it? That one that you've got as well from year before.
Oh,
that's not got a single shimmy on it at all.
No,
perfect.
Amazing. Imagine if cars were like toy, and you went and bought a nice new Ferrari and it turned into a Skoda. A year later.
I love that, mate. I really would. And I'd probably pay over price for it as well. Well, next one we've got is from David again. He's put, do you guys think that Akamatsuba are getting a little rare these days?
A good one is hard to find.
I've never seen so many of them coming from Japan.
I'm just going to, it kind of beat me to it, to be fair, because I've watched even on Crafty's bit that he's posted out. He's got like 5 or 6 in a bowl. They seem to be more popular coming out back end of last year to this year. in what's coming in from Japan and what look to be exceptionally good ones, but it's not easy. They're not easy to breed.
Oh my
No,
God,
there's-
I think there'll be a lot in the market come spring, because I've seen a few of Ryan's videos. He's picked a load. I know Crafty's got a load in a bowl. The market will be flooded with them in spring.
Suka's
It'll
like
be the,
It's like never got rid of so many. Jesus. They're nice, to be fair. When you see his big ones, and you're like, wow, and that's how they kind of sell them, isn't it? Look at these Asaga, look at these Akamatsu, and they look amazing. So you buy the little ones with the hope. They're not a bad.
He's not going to turn into a Skoda.
Well,
they're definitely going to turn into a Skoda.
You buy a Benigoi, you're buying a plain fish. It could turn out to a big plain fish or a spotty one.
Yeah.
And if you bought an expensive one, the chance of it getting shimmies is probably same. They'll have all come from the same batch. So, yeah, that's just coin. It's artwork, isn't it? You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, that's the thing with them. The patterns can come off, drop off. I mean, I was looking at some of the fish from my growing show today. But it's coming up very close to the end. In fact, I think it's the 28th of this month, and that will be the 12 months of the growing show done. I've been getting some of the people to send in pictures and the videos of the fish, and there's one that's grown to a good old size. I think it's 46 cm. And that's not bad bit of growth to that fish, from like 24, 25, 26. Average, I think, was the biggest, were about 28 at the time. So it's done some serious growing, but its colour's dropped off, something wrong. A lot of colour come off and dropped off in it. But when I put in, wow, it's done some growing, hasn't it? But a lot of the colour seems to have dropped off. But it does look like this sumi coming up and from under. I said, hopefully, fingers crossed, some of it will come back up. And he was like, the colour dropped off that fish almost within 24 hours of being in pond.
Wow.
It's just quick.
So,
Change. I mean, imagine the changes that go on with even the fish you see in Ryan's videos. You see some of those fish, they're being bought at 25 degrees, and then they got to be chilled, starved to be shipped, collected. Some people will be able to keep them warm, some can't. The amount of chemistry changes in the water, it's mental. That you're going to get the shifts. Again, learning, part and parcel. That's why size doesn't necessarily win, does it?
No.
When they was the cars at is it Cars Air show us in your growing show, guys?
He's not listening. I don't know if he's frozen or just really.
I'm not frozen. There's just a message that's come up there, and I'm just wondering why that came up.
Give me my niece. She's trying to get on.
Vince has put in a question. Do you think that shimmies are not just genetic, but also caused by water makeup?
I'll give you 50-50, Vince. In fact, no, I'll probably give you less than that. More genetic. I know. It's more difficult. I don't want to name breed. I think certain bloodlines are much more prone to it in certain conditions. So they might be grown in Japan and never have a problem, but as soon as you bring them back to this country, they're a nightmare. Yeah, other breeders don't have the same problem.
Is it an age thing as well? Is it the older the koi gets, the more shimmies they tend to?
Yeah, to a point, but it's just red. Mostly with kahakus, isn't it? Your benny's better, and it's tied to the black, so you get better benny generally on sankies and shit. There's something goes on between the two, and obviously, if you keep them in super soft water, you can keep those kahakus without shimmies, and then you move them to different water, and they develop shimmies. I think if you keep it probably deserves a lot of research, and not by someone like me, someone out in Japan probably that can deal. You know, there's one farm we've had a lot of parents from, and every single one of those fish has had shimmies, after a period of time with us. And yet there's another farm we've had fish from in exactly the same water conditions that have never developed a shimmy. So that suggests that's 100% genetic.
Genetic, yeah.
But there's a lot of people that would say that the environment has a massive, and it does. The environment is massive to how the koi develop and behave. But I think it's got to be in the genetics to come out. Yeah. We feed all our shearers colour food. Everyone says, "Oh, you can't do that. You shouldn't do that. It won't do that." But at the end of the day, if that secondary heat or the Benny's not in them, it doesn't come out. It only comes out when it's encouraged to come out. And if it's encouraged to come out, well, it was going to come out anyway. It's there. So there's different lines of thought between it all. So you don't want to encourage Ben to come out and you're an amazing shiro. But from our point of view, when they're younger, if you can encourage it to come out, then you know it's not an amazing shiro. It's going to come out on someone else.
Right where you didn't want it.
Well, it will round the cheeks. Round this area is the most commonplace, but in the belly line, and they've got showa genetics in them. So if it's there and you feed them colour food, then you're going to see it more.
Yeah.
If it isn't there, then you can feed them colour food all day long. It's not really going to make a difference. And I say colour food. The food we use isn't just colour food. So, but it does encourage colour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. That went from shimmies, from Matsuba's to shimmies, from shimmies to colour, to colour food.
They're all entwined.
They are all interlinked.
I think that it's one of those things that I was amazed today. We've got some Oya Asagi that have looked really flat and just not very nice for quite a long time. And obviously they develop with age. But for 2 weeks, I've given them some of my Munga mix, and suddenly they've got that. They've gone from 2-dimensional fish to 3-dimensional fish. It's like the gin on the back of the scale has gone mental. They have just, even if the Benny doesn't develop, they look amazing from looking just flat and horrible. And it's like, well, that's just 2 weeks of a different diet, and they've changed completely. It's like, well, that's environmental. That's nothing to do with genetics. It's there in genetics, but without the environment, the genetics can't do its thing.
Yeah.
So
that's it. Munga mix now.
I don't even know what goes in the Munga mix anymore, mate.
Leading on to that, then, with this. So, Gaz, have you decided what food you're going to be feeding this season? I think, I mean, my pockets aren't as deep as yours, mate. But I really would like to try Sakai Academy. It's too expensive for me.
You use a sack or two a year. It's not that bad. That's the thing with it, isn't it?
I tell you what, right then, if it's that easy to explain, I shall just bring Eyelass in, and you can do that one. Let's see how it works for you, because I know it'll start with F and it'll finish in F, whichever question I ask. Yeah. So.
Well, I'm going to do a trial this year with Sakai against our cheap Coppens spirulina feed.
Yeah.
Done.
Right.
There'll be 2 ponds side by side, interchangeable water, same temperature, same water. Everything will be the same, except for the diet. So
if I say, can I get some fish food? And she said, oh, yeah. Well, how comes that fish food's gone up double price? I'm going to end it. It will start with an F and finish in an F, that is for sure.
Tell her the bag's twice as big.
But it's not, though, is it? It's the same size. But I was thinking about going with the Takazuma and doing trying the Takazuma. I've seen people and Aaron, I've seen other people get real good growth with it. Not so much waste, not so much discoloration to the water with it, but
you could all feed different foods. We're in that amazing place with social media where you could have 10 people with similar ponds, with similar stock densities, all use 10 different foods and see what the water's like, what the fish are like.
Yeah.
That was impossible years ago, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, to be fair. It is very easy now for all of us collectively to see who could get the best growth out of something, out of a product between our own group, because there's 8 different types that we could give a go and give a try.
What amazes me is the environment is so massive to how everything about it.
Yeah.
Okay, genetics play a big part, especially at the latter end of growing from 60, but to start with, the environment is massive and you can feed pretty mediocre food to good food and you'll start to see quality changes, but the growth, we get a centimetre a week easy with the spirulina diet from Coppens, and that's what 34%. It's quite a low protein food.
Yeah,
and
so I mean that's
crack on, no problem. But when you talk about bigger fish, to get the volume on the fish, you'll struggle to do that with that food, and you'll struggle to do it at the temperatures. So you've got to balance up. So yeah, I'm going to do a little trial with it. I think Sakai Hikari will beat our food. I would hope it does, and I'll see it's working out. The problem is that you can say, "Oh, we'll feed there's 50 fish in a pond. They're all exactly the same. We'll give them 100 grams a day." But that's not necessarily fair, is it? Because then, if they want to eat more on the Sakai food than the other food, do you give them more because they want to eat more? Suddenly, it's not a fair trial anymore because suddenly they're getting more food.
Yeah.
Or do you do everything to the same amount of food? But then that's not fair. They actually want to eat that food more or less or whatever. And that's
the thing I want to try doing is feeding more. Well, I know I've still got a fair bit. I'll probably get halfway through this. Well, maybe not if I'm feeding more, but at least a quarter way through this season with what I've got still to feed. So banging more in and seeing if I get more growth by putting a feeder on, like we were saying, because you were saying, getting a feeder to bang more food in through day. I've seen what difference it's made for Aaron, man. I mean, that were only started kind of like halfway through summer, wasn't it, really? If you think about it, when you went to getting it all done and sorted and set up right, and that what you were happy with, giving it beginning of summer, midsummer, and through to what you got towards end of season, you got some really good growth. But that was by changing.
I can't knock having a feeder because I just went on the little and often approach.
Yeah.
And although I was getting it throughout the day, and then when I was increasing each one by a small amount, by the end of the day, it was doing well.
Yeah.
You're not putting spikes on your filter load then either, are you? If it's getting the same amount every 2 hours throughout the day.
That's one thing. I mean, the stuff that I've used prior to the stuff that I'm on now, I know they're both Coppens based, but the other stuff that I was using that was Coppens, god damn, that it was like an oil slick on top of water. You could see it.
But that's a comment that's like Coppens do over 100 diets. It's that's nonsense.
So many different.
It's just Sakai Hikari, like their food is a diet. Coppens is a manufacturer of over 100 diets. So you've got to say the Coppens growth is very oily. We don't use it on our tanks. We use the spirulina diet because it's not oily. But they do so many foods. And I'm not saying they're the best by 100. We use it because it's economically usable for us, but we choose the diets we use that suit us. But Sakai do loads of foods. Hikari do loads of foods. So you've got to work out what you're feeding. If you feed a growth food that's got a lot of protein and oil in it for growing, then you get someone else that uses a trout pellet that's full of oil. Oh, it's a bit, they love that, but it's a bit oily.
That is a bit oily, but they do go mad for it, don't they?
Manufacturer of so many foods, it will blow your mind. Unless you know what diet you're feeding, then the growth food, we sell a lot of it, and it's not something we use in the tank, and it is incredibly oily, but it does what it says on the tin. If you've got young fish at high temperatures, they will grow. So, but I wouldn't recommend using it in a normal koi pond where you've got older, bigger fish, because you'll get an oil slick every time you chuck it in. That's that diet. That's why it's got lots of oil and fat and protein. to put bulk on fish.
Yeah.
So,
There's like the ANC is saying there that I'm not feeding colour this season. Had secondary come up on the Dainichi Kaku, so just balance and growth this season, and it's a lot of and a lot of it. Yeah, so you get some good side. That's a lot. But you say secondary, and when I said this earlier on when Rick first started joining us, I started feeding some colour in answer, and it's not so much secondary; it's colour that we're always going to come up. It's just come up because you've encouraged it.
Because you forced it.
Well, it's not forced. It's there,
Not
isn't
forced it, or you
It's there anyway, and it's colour that was
accelerated
there.
it.
It's just come through.
So if you've got one really nice fish that's going to develop secondary, but you've got another fish that needs colour food to reach its potential, you're in that. Well, what do you do? So you've got 50 fish in your pond, and they all need slightly different temperatures, regimes, because they're different ages, different sizes, different types. You can't win in every way. You've got to just do what's best for your pond and your pocket and your budget and what you're trying to do. But secondary, I don't think if you've got secondary come up on a fish, by not giving it colour food, it ain't going to go away. You've got secondary coming up. It's coming up. You'll encourage it.
Not come up as soon.
You're not going to, if it's there, it's not going to suddenly go away because you stop giving it colour food. All you're going to do is all the other fish in your pond are going to start looking worse. Because if they're not getting the colour, the stuff they need, then they're all going to start losing that luster. They're going to all lose condition in terms of colour. Not necessarily another way, but that's just life, isn't it? Koi cannot create what they need to create their colour without it being in the food. Yeah. So unless you've got lots of natural food in there, which most koi ponds don't, then you need to give them something. And if you've got one fish that's developing secondary heat because you're feeding colour food, but it's in its genetics, do you sacrifice that fish for the benefit of all the others to look good? Or, I don't know. Depends how many fish you have on. Some people have like 5 or 6 months, everyone's different and what they're trying to achieve is different. And if you've got five massive kahakus in your pond, you want to grow them to a metre long and you're using RO water, and then it's a different scenario to if you've got 50 fish in your pond and you've got all sorts of different types and colours and you just want them to look as good as they can. It's a completely different ball game.
It's a minefield, man, isn't it? Literally feeding fish. You would have thought it'd have been so damn complicated. But
I can't believe we haven't had one comment that I feed Rice Krispies tonight.
I feed Rice Krispies. Well, there might be reasons behind that. There's been some changes made.
Right, I need a wee. Just bear with me.
If we go with a group collective buy of Sakai, then it makes it a lot more. But who, what, where, and when do you get it from to buy it to get it at a cheaper price? And how much do you need to buy? Half a pallet load. God damn, I could be in serious doghouse for that one. Tetra Pond, good man.
It was 150 quid a bag of balance at the shows, but them bags are bigger than the Takazumi bags, so that's still 10 quid a kilo balance. When Takazumi is 10 quid a kilo, so if the balance is that much better, but it's how much the growth is. I've seen it twice on shows last year for 150 quid for the balance, but it's how much more the growth is that you're going to want to mix with that.
Yeah.
Or is it do 2 people go halves on a bag, 7.5 kilos each?
When you think of
a
that
lot of outlay, though,
to Takazumi, and then you think of that from Takazumi to
Coppens, Takazumi is a step up, and then
if
that's
Rick's getting a CM a week, 1 CM a week on the fish feeding that, why buy Sakai Ikari?
Yeah,
it's the same potential growth.
How much can you get Sakai Kari growth for?
That's the thing. Yeah. If you buy probiotics, it's $13.99 a kilo from Clive Steers. Yeah, it's a lot of money from Simon Podder says it's a lot of money, but if you do get the results, and that's the thing, mate. There's no knocking it for that. You do get the results, but I've seen people getting good results. So I think basically what I need to do is just feed my fish a hell of a lot more. A hell of a lot more. I thought I was giving them a lot, but I'm not nowhere near. Not when you work out how much everybody else has been banging in. When you've got 6-7 feeds a day, that's what I need. What I need is throughout the working week is to go with what do you call it? The feeder, a feeder, so that through the day while I can't be there, they can be getting that, and I can still bob out then and still get a little bit and still put a bit of food into them and be around pond on an evening and a weekend or what have you. Still do my own little bit, but $2.20 a bag. Terence Gander says $2.20 a bag.
I was just about to respond to him. Is that a 15 kilo bag, Terence?
Evening, Lee.
I think.
Evening, Pop. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine, mate.
Lovely.
That might be on you.
I think Ian just put a 20 kilo.
No, I'm at work, mate.
Is that is that the to-do list behind you? Looks like
No. It's just that's just a referral thing for people who want to come into. I work in a homeless place. So that's all referral people. So it's fine.
Don't zoom in on it.
Yeah,
14 15 kg, sinking 20 kg. I didn't know that.
All right, okay. So you get 5 kilo more in sinking, do you?
Yeah. I prefer.
Yeah, you do with most sacks of food. You get most of ours, 20 kilos, all the sinker foods, because they're compressed pellet rather than expanded pellet.
Right.
So when they manufacture the pellet, if you compress it, it sinks, and if you expand it in a vacuum, it floats. It's just simple as that. You can't get as much in a bag or a sack. But so the trial I want to do is literally, it's not to prove Sakai Hikari is better, because it is better, but it's to show how much you've got to feed 50 fish to get them to grow properly of the diets. And obviously, I can get a centimetre a week growth without any automate. We use automatic feeders on the farm, but for my stuff, I don't, because in my head, the last thing I want to do is go and see the fish and then not want to see me, because they've been fed by the feeder. So I need to go in there and see their reaction to me. If I go in there twice a day, and I can get 2 feeds a day, I can still get a centimetre a week.
See, that's the only thing that worries me, Rick, about getting a feeder. If I lose that interaction with the fish that I've got, because I can go out in that garden, don't matter when. Obviously, with the colder temps now, they're not acting like that. But when it's a warmer temp, I can go down there in that garden. I can be cutting my lawn, going up and down, which is going to be a lot easier to do this year because it's so much smaller. And I can go up and down with a lawnmower, and the fish are following me up and down the pond. And
you will to a point, but that's a hunger and a competition thing. So it's it's a balance. If you overfeed with an auto feeder, they'll just back off, and if you go near the pond, they'll be like, not bothered. You're not hungry. So auto feeders, from our point of view, you just can't live without them. You need them, but to grow 1 pond of fish, you don't necessarily need one. If I was to use one, I probably haven't set on 1 feed a day at lunchtime if I'm at work, and the other 2 feeds.
You must feed heavy then. If you're feeding yours in your own stock fish, 2 feeds a day, there must be 2 massive meals.
Still not massive. I don't think the problem with food is you don't need as much as you think to get the growth. If everything else is right, you don't need that much food to get the growth. If you're at 27 degrees and those fish are mental, and you can give them as much as they'll eat for 10 minutes twice a day, they will grow. They'll still grow. You'll struggle at the volume on bigger fish, but for young fish, you'll still better grow them. I'm not saying you could grow them faster with a feeder, but which is what we do on the farm. We use feeders everywhere because you have to. But from my own fish, when I want to go and check them and see them, the problem with a feeder is you just only see the fish that want to be around the feeder. You don't see anything that's not happy or not getting food. But when you go to a pond and you've got 50 fish and you recognise them all and you feed them, you see them all. You see how they're doing.
But like I said, a feeder works great if you work a lot, like I do. I work 2 jobs, so I have no choice to put a feeder on, otherwise I can't get the food in. You know what I mean? To maximise, because like I said, I am meeting to 25 Celsius last year through summer. I were feeding sake and colour, but like I say, it is expensive. You know what I mean? So I've just swapped over to Takazumi, and I fed the last bit of balance I had, and to be honest, they enjoy Takazumi more, better do balance. The less waste as well.
The problem is quantifying how the colour, the growth, all the different aspects over it, and it's almost impossible for feeding on a short period to see those changes or developments. So you can feed them on Sakai for a bit, and you go, great, I haven't got as much waste, or my water's more coloured. But if you feed a really good food and you feed the same amount, they'll convert it differently. So you've got to wait to do it scientifically. You need to check the water, weigh the fish, feed percentages, and it is a nightmare to actually quantify how much they're converting into flesh, what type of flesh they're converting into, if it's muscle, if it's fat, if it's, it's difficult.
See, I was feeding sake and coal last year, and you're about, your shearers get sake benny, sake sorry. And I had a shearer that was getting
Rick is getting burned by his niece.
A sake he, but when I up the temperature, with feeding coal and sake, the sake he walked round the face, it disappeared, and it hasn't come back since. Yeah,
well, that's a bonus.
Oh yeah.
See, all right, Mo. Yeah, she's on it. He's on. I turn my phone off.
Is that what you know? Saying I'm burning you.
Sorry, I had to put them ones up.
But yeah, at the end of the day, if you're developing secondary hebe or yellow cheeks, they're slightly different things. So if you feed a lot of colour food, and the problem with some colour foods is that astaxanthin is designed to colour the flesh.
Yeah.
So it was nicked from the salmon industry to turn the fish pink, and the flesh will start to turn pink. So you get the pink cheeks, pink skin, not so much the skin, but the flesh underneath the white. There's not enough research being done on it, to be fair.
No, man.
So I'm not saying I'm doing research. I'm just messing about.
Messing about to see where it comes. Alan's put, has anyone tried Takazumi? Find it a lot cheaper, but comes in 6mm pellets. It's 4.5mm, the smallest pellet you can get in Takazumi, mate.
Takazumi Friend.
Oh, Takazumi Friend. It's a lot cheaper, but it comes in 6mm pellets. No, I haven't
tried that one. I've got.
Maybe Vince might know. He might have tried it because he's tried quite a few different types of Takazumi. I thought that was a typo. Sorry, my bad.
No, Friend is
small
Takazumi feed.
Aaron, didn't you use Takazumi Junior or something for your?
Yeah, that's micro pellet though, isn't it? That's
I'm saying you said it takes down to 4.5mm, but it doesn't because you used some smaller, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Takazumi Junior is really small.
Yeah.
There's another one that's
Takazumi Friend is. I have never used it. I've used the Easy Mix, the Vital, and the Mix.
There was another one that was put in by Irish Geordie Coy. It was saying, let me see if I can find it, mate. Have you tried Yoshiki Goi Pro? I think Yoshiki Goi Pro is Coppens, mate. Produced by Coppens.
It looks like Coppens.
Because looking at that Yoshiki Goi Pro, it looks exactly the same stuff, pellet-wise to pellet-wise, side by side, as what I'm feeding from Coppens, which is the Japan mix. just looks identical. But you know, it could be some slight differentiation or difference within it, or it could be a blend that they've had made up and mixed up. But I'm pretty sure that again is another Coppens brand that they're making on their behalf. I might be wrong. I'd have to ask maybe Jack. He'd be able to tell us, but I'm pretty sure that Coppens seem to be behind most of the brands of foods that are out there from most different companies that are producing them for themselves or for the farms and such. But I'm pretty sure it is, if memory serves. But no, I haven't, mate. I have had good growth on the, like, for example, when I was feeding the Japan mix, in that one particular summer not last summer was shit, wasn't it? The summer before, when we got that when me and you had that little bit of a grow on thing, that fish grew from 7 cm to 19 cm in 3.5 months. That was some rapid growth on that fish, but it was red hot ponds. It's difficult for me to get the key, regardless to all of it, as Rick's already said. It's the temperature. If you can get the temperature, the fish will grow regardless, no matter how much you're feeding or what type of food you're feeding, they will grow. It's the temp that makes them put the size up because they get more hungry, more active, more feed more erratically for it. They go crazy for it when water's warm.
Yeah.
You get that growth on them then in those warm months. But for somebody like me that's outside and Huddersfield's chuffing freezing, man. It's just cold all the time. If it's not cold, it's snowing. That's, you know, we get 4 days of summer. That's no, you know, it is miserable up here. It is. It's always wet. Right on top of Pennines, it's literally one of the highest points in Huddersfield. So it's always cold round here, unless you get a particularly good summer like we did not last year, the year before. I mean, last year up here, it just continuously pissed it down all the way through it. I think we had like 4 or 5 good days where
Not me. That's not me that time. I don't think.
Oh, no, not you, that one. No. But yeah, I think the main answer to it all is if you can heat your pond, if you can afford to do it, then you're going to get a heck of a lot more growth out your fish than your average Joe Blogs that's just feeding a lower budget food without the heat. It's just they don't get the potential out of what they can get from that good food with heat.
I think we're all kind of missing the point. In your pond, growth isn't really the thing you're after, is it?
No, to be fair, mate, it isn't.
Your
just enjoying keeping koi.
And if they can improve and polish up and if they can look better for being in your pond, surely that's kind of king.
The best you can get.
See,
eat your tanks, didn't you?
Yeah. I think a lot of people, when you go to these shows and you think, oh my God, look at the size of them fish, the first thing you want to do is get your fish big. But are your fish going to look that good if they're not that good a quality in the first place when they get big? They're just going to look like big, bland, dull, coloured lost fish, aren't they? If your fish are already, you know, of a cheaper range. A lot of big fish.
It's cheap, is it? It's genetics. If they don't have the genetics.
If you've not got the genetics to grow that big. But I mean, to be fair, if I had all my fish in my pond at 50, 60 cm, I'd be happy with that. I won't want any more growth out of them because I'd have to lose fish. I'd have to lose fish if it got to that size probably anyway. But I would be happy with 50. I mean, I like the size of my chag. I like the size of my Beniginga. If I could get all my fish to that size, or to Jeff's, the one that's, for example, the size that Jeff's give me, if I could get them all to that size, I'd be chuffed to bits, man. I'd be happy as a pig in shit.
See, my crashy guy were hardly growing. So I put the SRC pump on. I had it 3 year. Well, I've had it 3 year the crashy guy. I've been about 12 centimeters, but now it's touching on 60. That's where I'm in heat on. Made a hell of a lot of difference. And it only cost me what? It's only cost me £48 from April to October to heat.
Says the man that's working 2 jobs.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying compare light heaters. You know what I mean?
It's not as expensive. They really aren't that expensive, really, are they? Because when you work it out, what my pond costs to run, it ain't all that expensive. But do I want to double what it cost me to run?
But the thing, Gaz, is if you seriously wanted to grow your fish in your pond, you'd only run a heat pump for the 3 hottest months of the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you'd actually have a 25-degree 3 months, and you could
And
grow your
that'd be
fish quite happily. I don't know, 16, 20 centimeters in that 3 months, each
Okay.
3 months.
Can I borrow one for 3 months?
Because
Have you got any more with warm food boards?
all our heat pumps turn on to chill in the summer.
Yeah,
Because they got to keep
because yours will be the complete opposite scale then, won't it? Be too
I
hot.
set them on 35. And on 35 degrees, they start chilling because it goes mental. But the fish are absolutely climbing out of the water.
Yeah. I've been in Gaz's, mate. And
they'd be dead. Oh, they're dead. 35. Seafasts come around and go, your fish should be dead. They're trying to get out the way of the fish. Well, no, they're not. They love it. This is as long as everything else is okay, the oxygen levels are good. Young fish at 35 degrees are mad for it.
Yeah.
That's the problem, isn't it? So imagine the hot countries. Obviously, we're not a hot country.
Agreed.
Because beautiful. That's not what my missus says.
We've said this before, though. Does anybody out there, panel-wise, I know that some of people's opinions on the panel, do you think when they get to a certain size, some koi start to look ugly with it?
Some of them do, but some of them look fantastic.
You know,
No, chubby cheeks are right, mate. You got to love chubby cheeks.
I think it's cute.
I'm not a fan. I don't like it. I think it looks
You
stupid.
don't like
But, I mean,
pancakes, aren't they, Gaz? What's wrong with you?
As long as
we can't all be the same, can we?
sometimes you see the one in the All Japan this year. Did you see that Sankey in the All Japan? That didn't look right.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Sometimes you can look at him, its head looks disproportional to the body of the fish.
Yeah.
Just doesn't look right.
The quality of that fish was amazing. Everything about that fish was amazing. But for me, I just can't. I can't cope with that. It's got the wrong size head for the body, isn't it?
It's like his head's being kind of squidged back into its body a bit, doesn't it?
Like Beetlejuice when he sits in the queue, Beetlejuice, and he shrinks his head, doesn't he? See that? Other than that,
is JPD Shogun any good? I'm new to all the food brands, man. There's so many.
They're all good.
Hard to give advice, to be fair.
What's mad is everyone slags off Coppens, but Coppens were doing all the Japan pet product foods anyway. Yeah. Under license. It's like saying, oh, my Guinness doesn't taste right. It's made in this factory, but it's the same Guinness you're buying in that factory.
Yeah.
Jason Coy says, bigger pond, guys. Don't get rid.
Right.
It's all like Chris at Barnsley. He feeds his Yorkshire puddings and sprouts and stuff.
Yeah, I've heard that before, where people give it Sunday dinner scraps to the koi.
It does. It is in it is his indoor pond. And the fish he's got in here, belters. But he feeds his Yorkshire puddings, lettuce, cabbages, you name it. He gives it them, and they devour it, they eat it.
What's mad to me is the fact that, mate, Euro Aqua, right, is a carp fishery, right, world-renowned carp fishery, and he has grown his fish mostly on maize, right, and he puts in so much maize into there, it will blow your mind. Literally boiled maize, and the fish there, he's got what, 700 pound plus carp in there, literally thousands of carp between 50 and 100 pound. Like you would not believe, fed on maize. Okay, they're not the prettiest structured fish, but they are massive, and they are grown on maize. So,
I'm going to balance, guys. My headset's going flat.
If you can grow a fish to that size, Aaron, see you later.
Cheers to the fish, Rick. They're amazing.
Good, mate. Thank you.
That Sankey's mint.
Too cheap, man.
That's a nice fish. That's a nice fish. Dr. Kempos, but how many people have window? I was always told koi are supposed to be seen from above, which is.
I have a window on mine.
Exactly. I don't, but I can understand and appreciate when talking as we were earlier on about Deutsch fish or lateral patterned lined fish, where you could think, wow, I mean, that makes, Daz has got quite a lot of little ones that we've gone, that'd look mint in a window. And I really do think they would. I think there's a lot of time a window is the perfect thing for checking on your fish, always making sure that you've got, all round view of them to be able to check them for any sores, marks, damages, or anything like that. But pattern wise, traditionally, yes, Japanese koi have been bred so that the pattern is laid on the top of the body, not below the lateral line.
They didn't have windows though, did they?
Well, yeah, they did. They just didn't put them in ponds. What are you trying to tell me that?
100 years ago?
100 years? What? You're trying to tell me that windows have not been out 100 years? Not in
Not in your pond. You couldn't seal it in your pond. They didn't have bags until about 6 years. It's like saying, oh, children should be seen and not heard.
Yeah,
not anymore, mate. You never see them. See them, can't get rid of them. Yes, Melissa. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
But traditionally, yes, that's how the patterns were designed to be, so that they were viewed from above. That's what they were. That's what they were for, and that's how they still are. They're still bred to be all the terms, all the. You mean you don't go to any koi shows and see them with windows inside a panel so they can look at them from side on. It's all judged and viewed from above. Traditionally, it still is that way. They're still bred that way, but there are beauty within fish that can be seen from the side on, and I won't deny that. Especially stuff like
big fat mirror carp.
Yeah, big fat mirror carp, for example. But yeah, loads of ponds, loads of people have got them. I think it's the same as anything, and don't shoot me, guys. This is just an opinion, my opinion. Somebody comes up with a nice idea and a nice design, and a lot of people follow suit and do it because, have you seen Steve's new pond with Windering? I'd like one of them. And it becomes a fad, and it becomes a thing that everybody wants. But I do prefer a natural in-ground pond, 100%. I'd much rather walk along a riverbank or down the side of a natural mill pond or whatever, the side of it, and watch fish basking on the surface of the pond than walk past somebody's pond with a big pane of glass in it and go,
yeah. Well, what's the first thing you see in a window pond, Gaz? You see the aerator, and then you see all the pipe work, don't you, from the filter?
Yeah.
It's ugly.
I think where it stems from is the fact that obviously all ponds used to literally be in the ground. So you look upon them in the ground.
Yeah.
But then suddenly most ponds, especially in Europe, become in and out the ground, because it's easy to build it partially in, partially out. You can walk up to it, and suddenly you're looking at them at a funny angle. You're not on top of it. You're looking at them, especially in the shop, you're looking at them at a certain height. So you can catch the fish, see the fish, and then the windows come in so you can start seeing that aspect of it. It's an evolution of it, but the reality is they do look better from on top.
Yeah.
I think proportionally the bodies kind of look a bit weird from side on. But there are, again, like I'm saying, there is a lot of patterns out there that do suit that type of a view. The fact that your fish always look bigger through your window is wicked, because you can have small fish in your pond, and the mirror seems to the window seems to magnify them somewhat, which it does to an element, not a lot, but they do look pretty much bigger than when you take them out and you put them in the ball and you think, God damn, you're not as big as what you looked in there. But there's the element of constantly cleaning it. I mean, it's not for me.
It's a nightmare. I wanted our shop originally to be all those tanks where you'd walk up upon them, so you're all looking down on them. But health and safety is no chance.
Yeah, because in case anybody slips or falls,
it's just never going to happen, is it? So you have to be, all the ponds have to be raised to sort of waist height.
Yeah.
Before you start, and that's how it is.
I really, it's like, for example, is it Koi Water Band? They've got a massive big window on theirs, that really big one. As you walk upstairs and you can see it.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks fantastic. That type of thing looks brilliant. And I do get the appeal. If you sat in your garden, you can see your fish wherever you are. If you've got like a pair of patio doors that go out into your garden, you can sit there, sit back and turn your head and you can see your fish. I appreciate looking at the fish here in the tank at the side of me. So I get the appeal, but I also like the down over the top look. More of a traditionalist, maybe. But
the reason why I've got window in mind, just mainly fish health, because I've got a Chiba, and she's quite big, but she is egged up. But I expect her losing her weight being egged up because she hasn't released them or absorbed them. Anyway, she's kept the eggs, but she's all right. But last year she had sores on her belly, all on her belly. We wait for the wind down to spotted it, and I pulled her out twice and treated her, and she's here, swimming happily, fine. She's healthy now.
But see, that type of topic though takes us back to what we were talking about beforehand. Yeah. So I don't have a window. My only way of making sure that my fish are all right is to handle them and be in there. I mean, I get in, put shorts on, wade into the pond, pick them up, and I've shown these lot. I've shown Daz. I've shown rest of group. I've sat there with camera facing pond, and fish swim straight up to me. I can get hold of the fish, turn it over, have a look at it, and let it go, and it swims off. Not everybody wants to do that kind of thing, but I used to do it because of the filter, the net that I had on, and leaves used to get stuck in back far corner, and there were only one way to get them out, and that because it was the plants were growing through that much, weren't they? There was no way that I was going to get them back out if I removed the net. So it was a case of get in to get to them to service it, but it then becomes, a bit of the norm. You get in and have a quick tidy up, clean up, move stuff around, sort out, make sure there's no muck behind back of, plant pots and stuff like that, so I could move them away to clean out any leaf debris or up behind back of them. But getting to know my fish in that kind of first hand, it made it a lot easier for me to do it that way. But window wise, if I think when somebody was saying, Chasing Koi was saying there, don't get rid, go bigger. I think if I were going to go bigger, I would come up out of the ground. And if I come up out of the ground, I think I would be tempted to put in the bit out of the ground, collar it off all the way around, build up a couple of breeze block, and then reline it again deeper and put a window in them maybe if I were going to do. That would be the time when I did it. I'd also be sticking a skimmer in it and all if I did that.
Your missus is upset by you buying a sack of food. And you're going to raise your pond, put a window in it. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. I can work on it with that one. I can work and I can say, look, Ted's getting a bit bigger now. I really need to raise this pond up a little bit because I don't want him falling in.
You could sell it as a safety aspect, Gaz.
It does. That's it.
Yeah.
To be fair, I've seen some amazing ponds where you literally from the house you stand and it's sunk in the ground. Beautiful lawn, grass, and you walk round. And the garden slopes away, and you go around the back, and you've got view.
And then you've got it around it, yeah.
So you can go around the back of an aquarium, you can see all your fish, and but that's out of most people's budget. You're talking serious money.
Oh yeah. Have you seen that one? There's a guy that's got it sound like 3 tiers. One from his house, he can look out of his window and he can look straight at the top of his pond. He goes off that. From that level down to another level, and it waterfalls into another one, and then it waterfalls into another one, and the bottom one's got a big window on it with all the bigger stock and smaller stuff in ponds above. And that one's a pretty nice, fancy pond. That I'll have to.
Takes a lot of doing, and a lot of money, but
he's got it. I mean, it must have been a lot of money to do that to his garden. It's beautiful because he's gone under the house kind of thing with it, so the house is kind of like built into it. It's cool.
Even fabulous.
I have enough damn problems in this house without putting a pond in it. Jesus.
Simon says there, wish I did when I built my pond. There you go. Well, they're pale barley in summer. Pale barley in summer.
Yeah.
Is that a question or a statement?
Well, it was always pale barley in the winter, but at the end of the day, it's a natural food. It's one of the foods they used to use. Still use.
Right, now I get you. Pearl barley is as in the form of food.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a good
food. No, but to be fair, we still use it now. We feed late with it.
Yeah. I've used it for roach fishing before and caught some big roach on it.
It's a cheap. You buy a grain that's cheap. So wheat or pearl barley or whatever is a good food source. So if it's a bit of a pain in the arse, isn't it? You got to boil it.
Yeah.
In Grand Pond, Sakai Kara.
It's just a particle food, isn't it? Like you use for carp fishing, really.
Yeah. But pale barley it's an easy digestible one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Perfect.
Good protein.
Perfect example there. Look, Gary's just said, "Did someone say windows?" Yes, you have a double window on yours, mate, but it does exactly what I said. In your garden, you've got your barbecue area, and then you've got your big conservatory on back of house. Nice corner sofa. You can turn and look, and that view is always visible. Mint. If they're done and done right, they look nice. Would I put a pond in a sleeper? Would I put a window in a sleeper pond? Above ground, below ground, partial half? Maybe, yeah. Don't know if it. I don't know if. Yeah.
The problem
I don't know. It's another job to do, isn't it? And I'm a lazy shit. So it's one less window to clean, isn't it? You have to clean them a heck of a lot, don't you?
Yeah, there is that.
For him to look good, for him to look cock on.
The reality is you need 4 ponds. You need a pond for your quarantining. You need a pond for your toes. You need a pond.
A bigger garden now.
So, what do you do?
Which one did it right as well? I've seen a hell of a lot that leak.
Yeah, I mean, well, talking of that, I mean, James the Coy Whisper, good to see you back, mate. Yeah, put a video out over day. Brand new pond build, leaking from corner of his window. I mean, relatively simple to sort with a little bit of silicon sealant and a little bit of a tidy there and everywhere. Drop water level below it, let it dry up for a couple of days, and then you're away at it, aren't you? But yeah, that is, and my fear is, and always has been, probably one of the biggest things with it. Something getting doinked against it, and it only takes to be flying past with lawnmower and it hit a piece of stone and it whack it out. I mean, I've hit my patio door with a stone. It put a right dent. It took me a good hour to sand and polish that back up to get it out of the door. But you know, you get a good whack on the pane of glass, and that's it, isn't it? Geronimo, everything's gone.
Yeah, game over.
Fish swimming on lawn.
I think that happens. I think they're pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you'd probably break the outer pane, wouldn't you? But
I've had loads of windows getting manky. You need to clean them, but not.
Yeah.
She's got the Gaz. You need sun for the window to go green, though. You'd think that, but you actually get more green around your garden in the winter months when there's less sun.
Yeah.
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 Patios, yeah.
Patio lawn, patio flags, and all that kind of stuff go far greener in the winter months because it's constantly wet.
Because you're not out there walking on it.
Yeah. Oh, it's because it's damp all the time.
Because it's damp, wet, and miserable.
You don't bother pressure washing any patios in the winter because 2 months later they're just as green again. They wait till the spring.
Dr. Kempo says, "What have I started?" No, this is the beauty of it. That's what makes us all different. That's what makes koi keepers all different, because we don't all do the same thing. We don't have all the same ideas. If we did, we'd all have fish in an identical little environment, and that would be enough, wouldn't it? All those fish would look the same, black and white, or whatever. They'd all be.
We're not in the 50s, black and white.
Hey, I did a black and white little TikTok over there, and I thought, I look like I've got a pond full of Shurutsuris. But you know what I mean? If there were anybody that was individual, everything would be just the same, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
it's fine. I'll be individual. I'll keep feeding my fish all sorts of shit. See what they do.
That's what I want to do a bit more. I want to try more random foods and stuff. See what they do. Because last year I fed a lot of like strawberries, fruits and stuff like that. Didn't think that they'd touch it, but they never even hit bottom.
Yeah.
And that was on top of food. I was really surprised on some of the stuff that, like raspberries. I think raspberries were one of the favourites. Dropped in raspberries, and I was putting them in hole, and they were just bang, gone. Never even hit bottom at pond.
They were just waiting for the ice cream.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was surprised. They're no different. A dog, I've got plenty of dogs. You chuck anything on the floor. There's one thing my dogs won't eat of all the things I've ever tried. Celery. Right? Literally anything else is fair game. Celery is one thing they won't eat.
Yeah.
Marit's Koi Pond. Windows are great if you want to study algae growth on the inside pane.
To be fair, that's not funny because I've been studying algae growth today. That's the next job we need to sort out. So we need to make to create the fry ponds. We need the best algae growth. So I've been researching fertilizers. All right.
Can I have another shout out, Uncle Rich? You missed it.
Last one.
Melissa's vlogs. Go check her channel out.
Frab eat sticks and Gaz likes Taylor Swift. That's everything you asked for.
I like Taylor Swift.
Apparently, I don't know. I'm not sure you want to invite your sort of people onto our channel. I'm not being funny. They're your sort of people, but koi keepers, 11-year-old channel. I don't know.
Oh, right. Perhaps
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Perhaps maybe not everybody go check out Melissa's channel, but she has. She's doing well. She's got 161 subscribers. If you've got any kids in the same age group, send them her way.
I'll send my daughter over there.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm going.
I shall steer away from Uncle Rick. Smile for the family pic we are taking.
I'm not even in it.
No, I think she's going to be taking a picture of you whilst you're on the TV, mate.
No, she's taking a picture of the rest of the family. I'm not even invited. I've got to look after the dogs.
Sweet Acre Koi Farm says, Gaz, just put the new window pond on the other side of the yard, so no more wind. That's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. Could do that.
Yeah.
There we go.
I don't know. Just a strip out middle that I could flag.
AstroTurf it. Run up and down loads.
See, Marie wants me to deck it off and turn it into a seating area and not have any lawn to cut, which I'm kind of tempted to do, to be fair.
Yeah, that sounds appealing.
Right.
It does.
I need to get one more beer.
Go on. Run there and walk back.
Last beer.
It's not the last beer, or is it the last beer of the evening?
It's the last beer I can find because I've run out. Who's not here shopping, is she? I've had a nightmare. No washing up liquid, no toilet roll, no clean clothes.
You've been fending for yourself.
I know. They went off on holiday without me.
That sounds like bliss, mate. If no toilet roll, washing up liquid, and a shortage of beer, you're not stopping at corner shop on your way home, are you? You're at fault for that one.
To be fair, I've been. But it's hard to remember toilet roll and washing up liquid when you go for beer.
Yeah, especially if you might have had a beer before you walk there.
Sounds like a case of neglect to me.
Yeah, I'm going to write a letter.
Yeah,
I've complained officially. Please, next time you go away on holiday, make sure I'm well stocked and prepared for.
Yeah. She even took the mayonnaise, mate.
Oh, well.
No way.
Yeah, imagine that. I wasn't expecting that.
No, I wouldn't have been expecting that either. Goal.
I'm assuming they've not gone abroad then.
I think they're about 10 miles down.
Honey and garlic, cheap as chips.
Pie, honey and garlic.
In the thermos overnight.
Yeah.
Do not give that thermos back to your missus smelling the garlic. I know that's a bad move.
Honey and garlic in your thermos flask. Why does this tea taste weird? Sorry. What you done to it?
That's how you do
it.
it.
Sunday drive.
Right.
Good evening. Oh dear. Yeah, we need what we got here then. So we've got. I'm sure I saw Mr. Tate's name there somewhere. Just join us. There he is. Evening, Mr. Tate. Hope you're good, mate.
Evening, Paul.
Oh, I need to ask a favour, Alan. I'm going to drop you a message tomorrow, mate, if you're still watching, but I need to ask a favour of you. It's only a very small favour. It won't take you very long. Thank you. I'll be in touch with you.
You're not cheating again, are you guys?
Well, I thought, I don't think you'll mind me asking. I thought what we'd do was get Alan to have a look at the remaining koi that's left for the growing show and get him to pick our winner. At least in that
it won't take long.
Well, it won't take long because there's only 6 left, so 6 or 7 left. There's not very many made it through, let's say. But yeah, another topic. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we've got one more. One more. Oh, I think we have actually. Flukes could be a transmitter of all these bacterial. In fact, this might be better for when Rick gets back as well. But flukes could be a transmitter of all these bad bacterial infections. They usually carry bad bacteria in their hapta. The hooks make the damage and let the bacteria in. I personally don't think we are killing flukes off totally these days with what treatments are available and how probably to dissolve them, etc. Just for, could flukes be spreading all these aromonas bacteria problems we are seeing? I'll run that by you again, Rick. Flukes can be a transmitter. Flukes could be a transmitter of all these bad bacteria infections that we are usually carrying bad bacteria in their hapta, wherever that is. I'm guessing that's the mouth part, maybe. Don't know. The hooks that make the damage and let the bacteria in. I personally don't think we are killing flukes off totally these days with what treatments are available on how probably to dissolve them, etc. Just a thought, could flukes be spreading all these aromonas bacteria problems we are seeing?
It's a good question, but I don't think we are killing the flukes properly. But I can guarantee if you've got a pond of fish that haven't got aromonas, they won't get aromonas from flukes. Period. You can only spread
aromonas bacteria from supplying it to your pond.
Kind of a direct concept. So if you've got a pond of fish, as we have, whatever, that have been stressed, that have got problems, if they've got a bacteria or a parasite, it will escalate, but it won't become another. You're talking such a rare thing for a fluke to be carrying aromonas from day to
Well, at the end of the day, the fluke is attached to the fish or very close to the fish. The only way you're going to transmit that to another water source is with moving that fish and
the
fluke.
fish or whatever. Something,
whether it's on the fluke or the fish, it's neither here nor there. It's still
a lot of they're all interrelated. So when you have a problem with, so you've got a population of fish that are okay, then something stressing them, but they're carrying flukes, and they're also carrying a certain bacteria that they're living with quite happily. Yeah. But when you get damage from the flukes, you get poor water quality, overstocking, and then it all layers upon each other. So damage from one causes something from someone else, from someone else, from someone else.
You would never transmit. You'd never introduce just the fluke on its own with a bacteria. It's always going to come with a fish, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you were going through your usual quarantine procedures and then perhaps maybe treating fish for parasites before introducing them into your new pond whilst in a smaller quarantine vessel, technically, no, you shouldn't.
Evening, Crafty, or morning.
All the way live from Japan. Take 2.
Oh.
Well, you do look like you
just woke up. I've got piss holes in the snow as always.
You get over the jet lag yet?
Yeah, I think I'm over it now. I was like, I didn't know what fucking time it was yesterday. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know if I was supposed to be awake or asleep.
I've got to admit, Alan, you did make me laugh. That little comment he put on that picture, moody face, and Alan's little comment that he put, and that did make me giggle. That.
Yeah. What saying? It's a nice scenery. Shame about the moose in the foreground.
Yeah.
It's fucking hell, man! I tell you, the boys. I call him a boy, but he's old, isn't he? Yeah, he's a good laugh for a fucking Geordie maggot.
So
what I'm going to say, guys, is this: it's an eye opener.
Can I just bring up one quick subject before, because yours will probably be an in-depth bit, and I just want to, because we've got Keith and Paula's Pond Build, who says, I proposed to Keith and he said yes. So there's a PO. There's a pod wedding upcoming. Congratulations to you both. Don't forget the invites. Hope everything works out great. Let us know when it's all going to be. That should be a good one to look up for.
Yeah.
What you brought in, Crafty?
I've spent a lot of money, mate.
Not your money, surely.
Not my money, mate. Yeah, but mainly in the hole, quite a lot of Tozai. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it comes at the host of Beauty Me Mic then. So,
no, I'm trying to turn you up, mate. I clicked wrong button.
Okay, that's cool.
Just turn it off.
Let's just turn my alarm off. In the hole, mainly Tozai at the moment. A few bowls of Nisai, and for me, mate, it's having the ability like yesterday, mate, up in one of the breeders. There's just a whole pond, and there's that many fish in there. You could pretty much like jump off of a ledge and get like crowd surfed by the fish. There's that many. So it's literally net after net after net, and I think I filled up 3 big huge bowls to then sift through again until I got the quota that I was looking for. So, you know, although the prices, believe it or not, for people that don't know, you can buy a box load of fish from Japan and just let the breeders put your 70 fish in a box. Or you can go in and do a hand selection like I've been doing, but that brings the value of that fish up on a basis that you're picking the fish that you want for your pond, like back in the UK to sell. So, you know, when you get a tancho that's not really a tancho given to you from a breeder's, one of the hardest fish to sell in the shop, but you're rejecting that, you know, so that straight away means that you're leaving in with what we call the shit that's hard to sell, and you're leaving yourself with a fish that you actually want to sell in your shop. So, you know, you're adding the value to it. And some of the places, when I don't want to sell you any fish, you know, what would normally cost us X amount goes up in value like 50 times. It's like, yeah, all right. And it's really not going to happen. I'm not buying a Tozai for like £200 a fish. You know what I mean? It's just, but yeah. For me, some of the, I mean, Tozai aside, a lot of people, mainly hobbyists, would when they go along, they would. You haven't seen a koi until you've been to Japan to see a koi. That's all I'll say. Because when you're looking at the top end of the market, I was in Odekan yesterday, and there was a client in there, and he spent 11 million on a fish times 3 times, and that's in yen. And these fish, man, the pond is probably 25 meters long. It's got a huge amount of flow coming down one side, and he had Ginrin chag in there that was about 1.10 meters. That's absolutely massive. And the other part is that they got bodies that I've just not seen in the UK. Put it that way. It's just the volume that they hold, and mate, it's hard to explain until you actually see it. Just the whole experience going through from like smallest fish all the way through to the biggest fish. But like yesterday, we lifted up one of Odekan's fish, Sanzai, that was about 62 cm. You know, Sanzai at 62 cm.
Crash.
Sorry, I'll just keep winding him up with his knees.
Yeah, a sandside fish at 62 cm is just, it blew my mind, man, to be perfectly honest, because, I was like, sorry, Nisai, not sandside, a Nisai fish at 62 cm. I was like, sandside? It's like, no, Nisai. It's like, yeah, Nisai. Okay, all right. It's like, definitely just mad. It's just mad on every level. And then when you go into like Marahiro and you see the round pond, that I sat down next to that pond for about 10 minutes, and you didn't stop. You didn't stop noticing fish, and when
you're
you
not
see,
selling it, Crafty. You must be absolutely battered, mate. Last night.
No, mate, no, it's just honest to God, it's just full on. It's full on. It's
No, it's
Work,
full
mate.
on. You have to put your work head on, get the bargains, get the ponds done, go and see the breeders who got some fish. Take a pond full.
Oh, don't forget, mate.
Pond full.
Mate, don't forget. I mean, at the moment, over here, it's sort of shifted over the years now. So coming over in February, trying to get hold of certain types of fish are probably next to impossible, and the ones that they've got, they may not even want to sell. Right? It's you've got to work the magic in order, even just to get one or two boxes in certain places. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. Just to get to some better Nisai, you've got to buy 2 or 3 boxes before they then open the doors somewhere else. So I was at Marahiro. I bought a couple of boxes of Nisai off of him, and then he was like, I was like, got any smaller fish? And took me up to another house, and he sat me down, mate.
Don't go.
He took me up to another house, right? And then we sat down, and he was like, let me know. So I was like, this one. He was like, good. This one, good. This one, no good. And then he'd show me what's going on. It's been, to sit down with a breeder for, 45 minutes and go through some chibi Nisai, which, are top quality. One particular one to look out for is an Achiba that I picked in that lot. It is banging. He was like, no. It's like, nah, man, that's in there now. It's mine. Okay. It's like, shit, that one shouldn't be in there. But yeah, it's been, mate, honest to God, first couple of days. Today I'm off to NND. I'm going to reveal the possibility I may have got my hands on from NND some DK lineage Shiro Atsuri, where I'm allowed to go and pick, but it's going to be a limited number. They will be, if they're right for me, they will be the next event fish for the shop.
Ooh, sweet.
And I've been working hard since probably November last year to try and get hold of some. And I've been
Was that Kiyotsura?
No,
Shiro.
You don't want Kia. There's a lot of Kiyotsuri over here, but again, it's one of those favourites of whether people want them or they don't. Gaz, it's.
Crafty, can we do like swap shop? Do you know your Momentero event? Can we swap it the Shiros?
Yeah. What? Do you not like yours?
No, I just like upcycling. Or
Yeah.
I don't know.
Go from a Momentaro Kaku and just change it for a Shiro.
I'm messing about.
I'm
not a beer.
Trading. A 12-month trading.
And I've got some NND Sankey to pick as well.
Oh, very nice.
How long are you there for the week? or 2 weeks?
8 days. Well, 7 days Japan, 8 days in total.
You're coming home soon, mate.
No, I'm not. I might not even get on the plane.
Stay there. Just keep shipping fish back.
Loving the food.
See if Mike Schneiden needs a hand in the ponds.
Have you bumped into Leatfield yet?
Oh,
yeah, a few times.
Have you?
Right.
It's a fucking crazy twat, man.
I saw his late video. He's lost a fish, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was telling me about that, but it's because he's gone on holiday again, isn't it? He spent more.
Well, he's
time
lost a
with
fish
his
at
ponds,
home,
he
or
knows
he's lost
what's
a
going
fish
on.
that.
Yeah, home.
Oh crap!
His latest video he put out from yesterday, I think. Oh, well, today's video.
Shut up. Leave like that. I can buy another. Got room in the pond.
Room in the pond. Yeah.
Lee's bought enough fish, mate. He don't need any more.
Yeah, I
Leave some for the rest of us.
He's not that good.
Food over here is absolutely lovely as well.
You're not eating egg sandwiches, are you?
I had what did I eat yesterday? I had
You've no idea. You can pronounce
a
it.
sausage and potato pizza from a bar. it was the bar special. You know, I wanted it didn't say what the ingredients were, and I was like, I'll give that a whirl just for the crack, because I want to see what the Japanese take is on like an English pizza in an English bar. Yeah, sausage and potato on a pizza, mint.
Is that like your eating challenge? Like they were finding all that weird food to eat?
No, I'll just steer clear of all that fucking dries monkey bollock and things like that. It's not for me.
Don't eat that. That's rude, man.
Yeah,
it's the mate. It's
I
not
have
rude,
never
it's
seen you
sensible.
Deep fried in chocolate.
Mate, yesterday I had a pheasant and gorgonzola curry.
Ooh.
Mate.
A pheasant?
Pheasant and gorgonzola, mate.
Nice, very nice, mate.
Yeah, that's because you got no taste buds left after eating them bloody chilies.
Yeah, I mean, technically, you did turn yourself inside out with that one just over Christmas.
Yeah,
have you been able to taste anything since then?
Oh, that was a good curry, mate. I don't know. I don't know.
Tell you what, mate. I've seen Lee's toes eye that he bought, mate. My God,
the thumbnail look banging.
Mate, they are extremely good quality, man. Like high quality fish.
He can't keep them all, can he? So we should all be knocking on his door next week.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it, with Lee? You know that he's gonna have to offload fish to put some in and whatnot. So, you know, I know for a fact he'll flip them at a bargain price as well. So there'll be.
And we've all got access to this new Ring doorbell, haven't we? We saw that.
Just in case, is it just me, or does Crafty sound like he's had his tongue pierced?
Yeah, that sounds like you got a cold, Crafty.
Mate,
he's had his first night in Japan.
I'm a little bit snotty, I ain't gonna lie, but I've only literally just rolled out of bed, farted and rolled out of bed, like had a quick piss and then come and put the camera on.
What time is
This
it?
is Crafty first thing in the morning as he's waking up. I do apologise.
It's like 6 o'clock in the morning for you now.
Fuck no, something like that. 6:30-ish.
6:30.
Yeah.
Don't contaminate the room like his mate. Kevin destroyed the room. They had to put a sign outside.
What I might do is I might go and grab a shower and then I don't know what Lee's up to today. Maybe I can give him a text and see if he wants to come on.
I think we'll be going to bed by then, wouldn't we?
I don't know what the time is over there, to be fair. What time
What
is
time is it now?
9:45.
9:45.
Is it? Oh, I can't
Not
get
gonna be a
there
late
time
one.
difference. It's so hard, man.
Yeah, I bet. Text
What's
and
your
get
highlight?
used to be get like and all that. Oh, just a quick message for you, Rick, just in case. Auntie Zoe says what you ate yesterday was hers.
It wasn't. It was venison.
Pheasant's nice, mate.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, venison's not pheasant, but I'll eat both. I'm not fuzzy.
I think we have got one more question. We might as well get everybody's opinion on it while we have.
Oh, right.
1 second. Bear with me. I think this one is about bog filters.
Bog filters.
I know we've had this one.
That's
I
just
know we've had this one before, but bog filters, are they any good? Simple question.
If you've got a big enough one, yeah, that's what I'll say.
If it flushes to the sewers, even better.
Size-wise, if your pond is 6,000 litres, you need triple that for your bog filter for it to be effective.
Yeah, if that's running solely alone, yeah. But
if you're running it alongside a conventional filter system, it could be smaller.
There's no point in having one.
Is a bog filter different to a veggie filter? Am I missing something?
I think the same thing, just different names that people call them. A veggie filter you would assume people would grow in like a aquaponics system, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
I would have thought so.
Yeah.
Here's a quick one, Crafty. Are you finding it easy to get around dealers, or they're quite open to you? Be like a new dealer going over, as compared to like Ryan, who's been going years and a good relationship with all the people.
Well, to be fair, they're fairly welcoming, but you rely a lot on the agents that are with you to take you around. You know, they're the ones that have got the relationship for people like me, but they're quite receptive of new people. And the hard thing is when you're actually picking a fish in front of a breeder, because they're eyeing you up, they're watching what you're doing, and you feel like you're the apprentice underneath the sensor.
Well, you are, aren't you? Really?
Well, I really am as well. Yeah, but
don't mean that in a nasty way, but compared to their knowledge.
Oh, definitely not. I mean, they don't know who you are from Adam, do they? Let's face it. Right. So, when you turn up and you got a jacket on with a company name on there, it's like, okay, here we go, another one. But they're actually really receptive, but they are watching. I mean, and Odecan didn't really have a lot to say, to be fair, but I weren't spending millions like other clients were in his shop. The others, though, have been really, really, really cool, to be
well
fair.
Received.
Yeah. I've been, more than happy to have a photo, more than happy to give you a bit of advice. I think if you're like poker face when it comes to prices and that, you're a bit poker face. But if you want to ask a question, be around, ask a question. Ask what it's like. I picked up some Akamatsu Suba, and I'd missed that there was a couple of shimmies down one of the flanks, and he was like, "No, shimmies." I was like, "Okay, put that back." So they are giving you a little bit of guidance, and that opened my eyes a little bit more. And when it comes to the Tozai, it was like, how much detail do you go into on your selection? Because at the end of the day, you want to fill your ponds, and even down to like a little bit of red bleeding into a peck, that's gone, for certain fish. Or if you've got a pattern fish that's got a solid head, right, that may make the cut for the size of the body and that, but then when you go through for your reselection, that gets a rejection. And I was like, how far do you go? There's so much to put through your head. And then not only that, I mean, it's a hell of a lot to learn, because not only have I got to work out my pricing, I've then got to work out spaces, I've then got to work out what I've got left coming up. I've then got to sort of play a roulette of whether or not I should not buy another box and open up a box somewhere else. And it's a hell of a lot of work. And then when you come back, right, you've then got to sit and price it and message people that are messaging you about what's come up and for customer fish. And the thing that I've learned on customer fish is that you may find the fish that you want, what a customer wants, but it's at a breeder that you can buy that one fish, but in order to get the value that they need, I have as a dealer then got to fill a box of fish in order to get it to their price point. But that means I'm then going to have to buy fish I've potentially not budgeted for in order to, buy a customer fish. And it's really hard to get that balance to ensure that I'm not overspending or committing to fish that I didn't really want just to please the customer. And it's very difficult, but worth it. I'm definitely coming back, and I'm coming back as soon as I can. That's without a shadow of a doubt.
You're making it sound like a nightmare, Crafty.
It's a deed. I'm not. I'm being honest, Rick.
Flowers. I saw these flowers and jewels, and I lost my mind.
Mate, not at all. It's not a nightmare. It's just how you control what's going on.
No, just spend.
It's difficult. It's not as easy as turning up and just going, yeah, that'll do. I'll have that. It's not that easy, and you've got to really work in what it is that you're doing. I want to be as transparent as possible. As a dealer, that is what we're going through in order to make sure that the stuff that's coming back is what I want and what is going to be the best for the shop, per se, and the people that shop in it. It's not easy, but it's worth it.
It's not easy. It's a hard life.
Flight I don't like.
Well, but what Rick's trying to say to you is what you should be doing is when you're going and thinking, I could get a box out of these toe side. I should get. Might I find some somewhere else? To buy a box from there and then buy some from somewhere else. Just keep buying. Yeah,
but I've only got a certain amount of QC space. Hang on.
You got like 25 ponds on go on, down new bit. Just get them filled quick.
Just throw everything in there, and I've got an old shop again.
Yeah. Bang them in about 400 tanks if you've got any spare. Like you just, get them all set up right quick. Do a farm over koi. You can have them by 36 cm by the end of the week.
I'll tell you what we do. Mate, there was this koi, man. It was a short body, absolutely it's like, oh, look at that. And as you pulled it out from underneath, like the fish, it's like, where's the rest of it? It's just a small little thing, man. Massive head. It was mint. It's like, fucking hell. Put it down. It's like, I don't know why it's even in there. People must like to buy them. I don't know. It's probably been told. Yeah. Anyway, enough of my bullshit. I'm going to have to go and get showered. I'm getting picked up probably in about 5 minutes now, mate. So keep your eyes peeled, though. Watch Facebook page, guys, and on my face. Not so much on YouTube. Put a couple of shorts on, but
do we put orders in, or are you just like?
Yeah, throw orders in. Yeah, definitely. And if I can get what you're after, I will get it. It's but remember, I need a budget, a size, right? Because that really counts. That not having a budget doesn't help because there's so many different ponds of different sizes and different qualities, etc. That I could easily pick you one, but it'd be well out your price budget, and it just wastes my time actually, if I'm honest. And it's quite short in each breeder. So, right, love everybody. Like budgets. You what, mate?
No, I was just saying everyone needs to know budgets, size, breeder.
Not necessarily breeder, variety.
Right, didn't even think about that.
Yeah, one quite popular request this year is Kajaku and Kiyosuri.
Kiyosuri. Blame Vince on that. Fucking dickhead.
I can probably get a box of them with a couple more requests at the right price without a cost to me. So
banging. Have a great time, mate.
Enjoy.
We're all jealous.
Yeah. So does that mean if they're not costing you, they're not going to cost us?
No, it costs you. But I'm on about it costs me by buying a couple of extra fish to fill a box up. So
Nice try.
It's madly.
Don't forget. I want to see you doing a little short, eating a chocolate deep fried
Monkey
cricket
testicle.
like that. Yeah, just got to do one bug challenge.
Yeah,
Right,
chocolate.
I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go. Right, thank you, everyone. I'll catch up with you on the next one.
Yeah.
Have a good one,
See you later.
Enjoy.
Bye.
Take care, Crafty.
Right.
Right. Lee, where are you, mate? Seriously, in the world.
Where am I? I'm in Castleford, mate. Not far from where Gaz is. West Yorkshire.
Cas Vegas.
Gas
So
Vegas.
your delay is about the same as Crafty in fucking Japan. How does that work?
Say again, mate.
The delay, they're like,
Delay. So you got
Delay.
a bit of lag.
The lag, you mean?
yeah, delay.
No, I'm not experiencing a delay, but I'm not 5-6 beers in. Maybe it's your delay. Maybe you had more beers than what you thought.
There's never have I had more beers than I thought. I thought I had more beers than I should have had.
You're still upright and you're not snoring yet, so you know you've not had too many. That is for sure.
Still getting grief, man. The questions I'm getting.
Yeah, you're famous now, mate. Keeps bobbing in, little ones. Right, one more. Nigel's asked, I'm just building my pond at the moment. It will be a raised sleeper pond and it will be 6,500 litres. How many fish would you recommend I have?
2,400.
What's 2,400, Nigel? There you go, mate.
Yeah.
I think it depends on your filtration, mate. Yeah, 2,500 fry.
It depends what you're doing with them, doesn't it?
It depends on your filtration as well.
Depends how big you want them to grow. There's lots of variables. How long's a piece of string?
That's it. We're keeping you up, mate. You're looking done here.
Twice the length from it. Daz did 3 beers before he come on, so he's like,
yeah, I did tell.
I'm just getting alive now. I'm on a night. I'm going out in a minute.
Like night. I'm not a hard
beer.
you.
right, hang about.
I'm getting on this in a minute.
What the hell's that?
That looks like toxic waste.
This is what I'm
Dead
going.
man's fingers.
Dead man's finger.
Oh, dear.
Get an Uber into town.
We got Gary's Coy that sent a message saying I posted for the first time today to show you can keep fish and not have a clue.
They're all dead.
Nope, they're all alive. I'm guessing that is that Gary. Have you posted that on your new channel? It is. See if we can find his channel. I can't go to his channel from there.
There is less comments, I think. Have you restricted comments?
No, I've not restricted comments at all.
Just checking. I don't know.
Just offended a lot of people.
No, I've not restricted people. You just got to be a subscriber if you want to be a part of the chat from now on in. Prevents bullshit.
All right.
The bullshit filter.
That's the one. That's the one.
The last line of defence.
Has it worked?
Well, we've not had no bullshit.
So. Funny. My niece has found her way around it pretty quick.
No, well, that's it. There is a way around it. It's a simple solution. It's
subscribe and abuse me.
Subscribe and abuse her uncle. There you go.
Cheers, Melissa. I've never had so many messages in my life. Like buzzing. That's why 11-year-olds should not have a phone.
Yeah.
She's 11. She shouldn't have a smartphone. She's done me in.
She outsmarted you with the smartphone.
Yeah. Every which way.
I can't like pink apricot gin. I can't like anything. Yorkshire Coy says my Coy like watermelon. Mine's not all that keen on that, to be fair. Watermelon.
No.
Doesn't taste so much, does it? So, Lee, down there in the corner, mate.
Yes.
Have you got like your heated pond? Is that your main pond? Have you got a main pond and a heated pond, or
Just main pond heated?
Just 1 minute.
One
main
big,
pond.
massively heated?
Yeah, just 3,100 gallons, fiberglass through window, and with gazebo roof on the top of it.
Do you not want to jump in there sometimes?
Yeah,
3,500 gallons. That's like a swimming pool, isn't it?
Yeah, 3,100 gallons.
That, isn't it?
3,100 gallons.
Flipping heck. It's a decent size.
It's heated. It's 5 foot deep. By
I'll be in there, mate. I'll be in there. Can you do a film? You're at work now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm at work, mate. Yeah.
Can we do a little film of it? Because that's a lot. That's a lot of.
That's a lot of water.
I want to.
Here's a quick question. We've inspired there by Gary's koi. How long have you been keeping koi? Let's see. Let's see if we've got the longest keeper of koi. Who that person is in chat. How long you had koi? How long you been keeping koi, Daz? 4 years.
Yeah.
5 years. Rick?
4 years. Yeah.
32.
32. Ooh, 32. Yourself, Lee?
About 10 year.
10 year?
Myself.
Personally, myself, 5 years. Come on. Let's see the comments. How long you guys out there in the public been keeping? What we got?
That's not fair. The oldest people are going to win, aren't they?
Well, obviously, if they've been keeping them all alive, if they've only just started last week, then no.
No youngsters can win this competition.
Oh, that's unfortunate on the youngsters. There are no youngsters.
I'm texting Melissa right now. She's never
Tony
winning.
Barker, 39 years. Fanfret Steve, 45 years. Daz Coy, 2 years. We got 30 years now. 30 years for DT, even though he's only just turned 30. David's 41 years. So David's Fanfret Steve is 45 at first, at top person. Claude, 10 months. Alan, 30 years on and off. Paul Hinchkinson, I was 8, so 40 years. What? Flipping dizzy. Yeah. You're not feeling good?
Gary, you're on live.
Irish Johnny Coy says 20 years. Marrick's Koi Pond, 102 years. That makes Marrick's Koi Pond the oldest traditionalist koi keeper to date. 102 years. You look good on it. Alan, 35 years.
You cut one of his fingers off, you can count the growth rings inside, and he's right.
Oh, is that 102 hours at Marrick? Marcus, 3 years, or 3 verse. 3 verse. Dog, 39 years. Dog. Dog. 39 years. So we got the longest one that we've got then is had ponds for 17 years. Keeping Paulers.
But is
so
that
the longest we've got then is Fanfret Steve at 45. I wonder how long Wrighty's been keeping koi.
I won't like to say.
40 really for Marrick. That's a fair long time, isn't it? That 40 years.
Yeah.
45 years. So that's it's a lot of water changes, isn't it? A hell of a lot of water. 1 year, 3 months for Bubble and Fins. Sparky's 9 years. Nine years. Rick's gone raiding through cupboards, only looking for beers.
I am definitely raiding through cupboards, man. I have got nothing left in the house.
That's it. You're gonna have to go cold turkey and put kettle on.
Yeah, Rick, I'll show what we've got here for you. You can have some of these if you want. Honey pop it, fridge. Honey chocolate and crisp.
It's got no alcohol in it though, mate.
No.
Well, I'm afraid I'm not allowed to in here because we're alcohol drug free.
Yeah.
I've done this for free.
I've got some of them. I've got some of them in. You can. That's all right. Sweet Acre. There we go. Keith's one. Keith's Koi Haven. 49 years.
49 years.
49 years.
That's the longest since your 18th birthday, isn't it?
Yeah, massive congrats again there with what Yorkshire Coys was putting there. Massive congrats to both of you, Keith and Paula, on the upcoming future plans for your wedding.
It couldn't be a koi, could it?
Gary's Koi says, I built my pond in 1987 and I've got fish from 32-year-old. And I've got fish 32 years. They're good deal, that.
Yes.
Tony, 33. So our top Keith's Koi Haven. Heaven. 49 years. There we go. That's the longest one we've got.
That's pretty, mate. That's
Sweet Acres, 49 years. Oh, Christine from Sweet Acres had 49 years. Bloody hell.
the bags weren't invented until about 1970, were they? To transport them.
Listen to that there. Sweet Acre Koi Farm. Maureen got my first koi when I was 10. It's been 49 years and still going. That's an achievement. The same fish, 49-year-old. Well done.
Yeah.
That is pretty mint, that.
Ask us had the photo in for appreciators. Look at it.
Yeah, could you get a photo of that for us, Chris? That'd be lovely to look at. Let's see what it is. Alan says I have a picture of Phil at my pool. Phil who? I've got a picture of Derek at my pond.
That's like I've got a letter from Crispy Bacon.
Oh dear. Right, well, that is pretty much the end of all the questions that we've got. Does anybody have anything that they would like hang about? Ding! Gaz got message. Sweet Acres 49. Not me. I got it in the end. It's been a long day. It's been a long week. I'm only at 15 years before that, just freshwater aquariums.
Yeah, that's how I started freshwater aquariums.
Yeah, I had a drumstick at my pond this year. Last year. There was a drumstick at my pond.
It was a bloody big drumstick.
It was a big drumstick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Life around the koi pond says hello to everyone. Hope you're okay. What's your take on safe coat as a benefit to slime coat? Never used it.
No.
Very much out of will. Don't know.
Yeah,
Safe coat is the stuff that they normally put in with fish when they're bagging up and shipping them and moving them in it. Bit of safe coat in it or something. It's like that. Is that yellow liquid stuff that they put in?
Elbegin you can't buy in this country, mate. That's good. That is good shit. But you can't buy in this country. So Lee's bringing it back. If anyone wants any, Lee's bringing it back in his suitcase. He's taking orders. Just putting it out there.
If it's good and it works, you can guarantee Britain will ban it.
Yeah, true. I'd agree with that.
To be honest, Lee, I'll have 6 cases, please. You can buy it in the box.
Sorry, Rick, go on, mate.
You can buy. You go to Japan, right? You can buy Elbegin in a box, like 24 sachets of 50 grams for 10 quid, right? You could bring it back here and you could sell them sachets for 100 quid a pouch. It is like fucking mega gold dust. You could almost go out there to smuggle the shit back.
What does it actually do, Rick? What's the benefit of it?
It's antibacterial. It's like an antibacterial sedative. So they chill out and just. It is amazing stuff. But it's not licensed here in Europe or anywhere, even in Europe. It's like gold dust you buy out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Lee's selling it.
Must be a good book because Mr. Tate has that book as well. Alan says Phil was BK. KS. We have another one. Phil was very high in the KS. You mean the BK KS? Right. So I'm guessing he was a judge of some sort, of some description. Topicked out, gentlemen.
Yes.
Here's a quick question for you then. From my bottom drain, can I divert from that with a TP to another filter on top of the ground, not in the ground one? So I'm thinking of teeing off my bottom drain, it comes out the top with a ball valve to a TP, so I could put that to a backy shower. Would it work?
If you shut it off, then yes.
No. Could you have both at the same time? Because I'm thinking.
You mean split into like a Y, so it goes
split from Y to like a seat, like a sieve filter to over the shower. Would it work?
Why would you want to? You'd just be putting shit straight over the top of your shower.
No, because what it is, I have a drum.
Yeah, but if you had from your bottom drain to a split, 50% of the water be going one way, 50% of the water be going the other way. 50% would be going to your filter, 50% would be putting shit straight into your shower.
Yeah, but with that head of water you're pushing up to get into your shower, I would have thought it would be.
It would be above the head of your pond.
I just thought if it pumped into like half into drum, half into like a sieve filter, then pumping from sieve filter over the shower, would it work?
Complicated to me.
I don't know. Could it work?
Have you got a skimmer line?
No, I haven't got a skimmer line.
Could you fit a skimmer line?
I mean, draining it down and cutting block work out and fiberglass work out and fitting skimmer line.
No, that's frustrating. So you go from the bottom drain straight to a pump to split it?
No, I'm going from a bottom drain straight up 4-inch into the drum. But before the drum, I'm thinking, could I split it to a sieve?
Before the drum?
Yeah,
right.
Split it to a sieve, because what it is, I've got the backy shower on the wall in the pond, but I had a pump in the pond, just pumping straight over the shower, 30,000 litre, pumping straight over, smashing it. But when I took the shower apart, end of the winter,
from after the drum and pump straight to your shower and then return.
Yeah. That's what I'd do.
The trouble with doing that though is you can't put the flow through. You need more tension in the bio side. You know what I mean? So
you need what? More
tension in the bio side. So it's like biomedia. It needs more tension, more water in there. So slower rate is better for.
But can you not draw water from the clean side of the drum straight to the shower,
and the remaining
goes to the bio?
I could do if I draw it all inside a drum.
That's the best place to do it.
Put an hole inside a drum in the bottom part of the chamber, because some drums come with 2 or 3 exhausts.
Yeah, I know.
You could put a collar in on that and then pipe straight from that, pump it straight to your shower to flow back in. I wouldn't split before. If you split before you filter, you're not taking out any crap. And then you're going to be putting crap straight into your shower. And then all you're going to have is bad bacteria being reproduced and flowed back into your pond.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be full of...
Not bad bacteria. No, absolutely not. But you would have shit going into your filter.
But
not.
Well, it's not going to be.
This
You're just going to be basically blasting crap over your shower media and back straight through into your shower. It's not going to be getting filtered out.
I just thought it might work with a sieve filter. You take all the big particle craps out in it, and it just pumps it straight over the shower and rest into drum to fix it up.
You've got a drum, man.
Yeah, I have.
Use it.
I do use it.
You don't need a backy shower. You got
use
the
it
already.
Split the water coming out of the drum to whatever you're doing with it. But at least you know the water coming out of the drum is clean, clear of debris.
Right. That'll do me, man.
Do me as well. If I had a drum that worked, it'd be great.
Life Around says, as far as I know, the Americans use safe coat to treat their koi to prevent parasites. They don't use fluke treatment like fluke treatments of the likes.
Don't blame them. I wish we didn't, because they don't work. It
just keeps numbers minimal, doesn't it?
It's a nightmare.
Yeah. Right then, ladies and gents, we have exhausted all of our questions and we have no more questions coming through this evening. So I'm going to call it, we're at 2 hours, 47 minutes. We're not far off the 3 hour mark anyway. I'm going to say a huge thank you, but hopefully we'll get Daz. There we go. Hopefully we'll get Daz back just in time for his nibbles. And we'll call it a do for this evening. A huge thanks for everybody for joining us. Thank you very much for joining us, Lee. Thank you very much again, Rick. And yourself, obviously, Daz, as always. And Crafty for popping in to see us while they were over there in Japan.
He looks wasted, doesn't he?
He did look worn out, didn't he?
He looks done. Imagine going to Japan as a dream trip and looking like
that. That's just cruel.
I think it's the sleep side of it, isn't it? Getting used to that 24-hour shift.
It's not. He's worried about all the customers and what he wants to do for the customers and buying fish. Isn't he? He's not enjoying it. He's not going out as a free spirit.
No.
He's not embracing the experience.
To be honest, I can't imagine Crafty as a free spirit. It's not.
Well, I'm hoping to get over in autumn if I can. We George from Wakefield Koi, because he's going. George from your Wakefield Koi.
Yeah.
He asked me if I want to go with him in autumn.
Honestly, if you can afford it,
no,
go.
No,
just go. It's amazing.
You can afford it. You got a 3,100 gallon pond, and it's heated. God damn! You can definitely afford it, Lee. You can take us all. Look at it. Look at fly.
Go.
Just go for it.
Why not? I intend to get there one day. When that one day will be, God only knows, but I will get there one day. Anyway, guys, massive thanks again. What you saying?
Nothing. I was just saying.
Huge thanks again.
Your wife will let you go one day when you make it worthwhile to her to go to Japan.
Me just going to Japan will probably make it worthwhile for her.
If you not explain to her the amazing, elaborate embroidery stuff they do that is one-off for women.
She won't want to go.
I think I'll sell it. More than embroidery.
No chance.
That's it. That's done. I don't know.
You're not selling it. You won't be selling it to her either.
All right.
We'll go out there though, Rick, one day, and we'll get some nice embroidery.
Yeah.
You are going, aren't you? Aren't you going this year?
No.
I thought you were.
Crafty invited me, but then the invitation never turned up.
Oh, yeah. Crafty. There we go then. We'll wrap it up for this evening. Thanks very much, everybody. Usual thing, guys. If you've been enjoying this madness, that is that Thursday Night Live. Do us a huge favour. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend. And Melissa, thanks very much for the vlogs. And thanks very much for keeping your uncle Rick on his toes all night.
She's in bed. Got me.
She's gone.
Not in bed.
Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend. Keep smiling, everyone. We'll catch you on the next one.
Right.
Mental well living.
Well, I'll get some work done now.
Get some work done. If your boss finds out you've been sat there all night, you might.
He's all right. He's family anyway, to brother, so he's not bothered.
Oh, jobs are good on then.
He's guarding the whiteboard. It's a good job, that.
It is. You need to do that one there in middle. It says, please turn off the light when you leave.
You've just rubbed 3 off with your elbow.
Yeah, I was rubbing them off. All right, catch you later, guys.
See you on the next one.